Welcome to the game. Today we are going to be sponsored by Canine for Warriors. This is a nonprofit organization that's determined to end veteran suicide. Canine for Warriors provides high-trained service dogs to military veterans suffering from PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and or military sexual trauma. With a majority of dogs being rescues, the innovative program allows the Canine Warrior team to build on an unwavering bond that facilitates their collective healing and recovery. Any funds go directly to that organization. I don't see any of it. If you're capable, if you care about it, then please consider donating. And if not, that's okay too. Let's start the show.
Like the red moon rides the foxfire on.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons. Second edition game. This is DragonLance Saga, of course, and today is part one of our Ravenloft When Black Roses Bloom live play. It is Bracha Repember II. My name is Adam. I would like to take a moment to thank the members of this channel and invite you to consider becoming a member by visiting the links in the description below. Members have access to the Session 0 character creation episodes. There's a total of 7, even though we only have 4 people joining us tonight, that we ran to build each of the player characters, characters. And remind you that you can always pick up Dragonlance game materials using my affiliate links, and all of that is in the description below. So, I would like the group here to introduce your characters to the audience, if you could. Let's go ahead in the same way we did it to each other. Let's start with Viruna.
Hello, so my name's Ashley. I'm going to be playing Verbena. She's a mountain barbarian priestess of Mishakal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Sirs.
All right, my name's Bo. I'm playing Sirs Lok'esh. He's a Bakali, former soldier of the Dragon Army, but he disagreed with some of their tactics, and one thing led to another, and here he is running with this group here.
Yeah. All right, next we're going to go with Corros.
Hello, Corros, level 6 bard.
All right, and finally, last but not least, Talandril.
Greetings all, I am Talandril, a human character, bit of a rogue. I like to facilitate things that are happening, bit of woo, bit of why, you know how it is. Why should I dirty my hands when others can do it for me? Hopefully I'll continue in this little adventure I'm on.
All right.
Seem to have a lot of willing assistants.
Yeah. I think it'll go swimmingly. All right, so let's start.
Until I
You're all
realize.
on Krynn. We're set in the world of Dragonlance at the moment, and each of you is going to have a different entry point. Sirs, you have been evading a squad of Knights of Solamnia through the Throttle Gap in an uncharacteristic storm for Paleswelt. You find yourself completely lost in uncharacteristic mists. Talandril, after a particularly successful night with the entertainment troupe The Golden Skies, you see a storm coming from the Carolize Mountains, and fog surrounds the entire encampment. Corros, you are chased out of a bar in Flotsam by some rowdy mercenaries. In the dark of night, the sea has been covered in a dense fog which surrounds the entirety of the town. Viruna, accompanying your tribal warriors on a raid of goblin band in the woods of Lehew, an eerie fog comes in and you're separated from your group. Now, each of you, as you slowly walk through this icy, darkened mist, a fog so thick you can barely make out your hand in front of your face, you hear the cries of other creatures in the far distance, and one or two eerily close behind you. You squint your eyes trying to see, and you believe you can see a shape in the distance, but you're not quite certain. A dismal ballad begins to play as you continue your movement into the icy mist. It plays on your mind, creating images in front of your face, images strange and terrifying, tempting to drive you mad. Eventually, you stumble out of this mist for what seems an eternity, and you find yourselves stumbling into a dark, foreboding forest. And you see the other characters stumbling, confused, looking about in the same way. So here you are. What do you do?
I don't recall drinking this much. Just put my Put a little flag and flask back. Hello there. Are you audience members? Have you got lost? The circus tent's this way. What are you doing out here?
Something strange is going on. Who are you guys?
Hey, you's not at the show.
Starts to slap his shield with his spear and. Who are you? What is this place?
Thought we were at the back of the tent.
In this circle in shock.
Did you just go to the tavern?
I was in the middle of entertaining a group, and now, whoa.
You're not Arbard. Was that you playing that depressing music?
May have been. I was in front of a lot of people playing, and the next thing I know, here I am.
Good sir, do you not like gold coin? You're meant to cheer the audience up. What are you doing, man?
I'm still in shock.
I still think I'm at the back of the I've stumbled out of the back of the tent, and this is the wooded area.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what these strange audience members are doing. Like, somebody's trying to... Are you trying to steal our audience members? Like, you'll not do a play not good, sir.
It seems I've been transported to a realm with
giving him
filled with
bloody
madmen.
And I'm noticing this group. What's in our surrounding that I can maybe pick up?
So you're in a thickly forested area. Massive trees crowd out the sun above you. It does seem to be sometime around dusk. The light is getting very, very dim. This plunging forest floor below completely is enshrouded in darkness, though you can see a little bit of each other. If any of you have infravision, then of course you can see a little bit more light than anyone else. You see a tangle of mottled ivies and grayish ferns hiding the earth from sight, providing perfect cover for what you can only imagine would be snakes, rodents, and insects.
So, I know that there are goblins just outside of the woods here. Did anyone else encounter goblins?
Goblins? No, this is a safe area.
This looks very different than where you're.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that, and I'm like, nice meeting you all. I think I'll go back to the tent and I'll carry on tonight's festivities. Of course we're here for another 2 days, so you're more than welcome to come if you didn't enjoy tonight's show. But all the best. I'll turn around to start walking back the way I came.
So a dark forest of gigantic mossy gray firs and pines hems you in on either side. The ground seems solid enough, and yet you experience a moment of vertigo as it shifts underfoot. At the same time, you hear a deep groan, a monstrous sound, as though something great thing is lying dead, dying, something just inside the forest. A short time later, the ground begins to tremble, and just ahead, a rift opens up in the earth about 2 feet wide and 10 feet long. It's filled with a swirling gray mist that is tainted with the chill of the grave. All is silent for a moment. And then a tree whose roots have been exposed by the rift tears free of the soil and topples in your direction. The massive trunk, heavy enough to crush a house, is falling on you. I need a dexterity check from everyone.
Oh, great.
Massive tree falls down. So with dexterity checks, you want to get under your dexterity.
And do we just press the dexterity button on this?
Let's find out. I'm not sure. Alternatively...
I made a roll!
That's so
only
funny.
good roll this evening, so
says
enjoy that,
failure or
folks.
success.
I just bounced to the side. Oh, well, that's not good.
Okay, so Viruna, what did
Where? Yeah, where is
I
this?
think I'm failing my intelligence check to find it.
I'm clicking it.
Okay,
No
so
modifier?
no modifier. It's just I mean your dexterity in and of itself
Failed.
number will tell you whether or not it's
Well,
higher
my
than-
dexterity is a 12, but yeah, okay.
Yeah,
They're
it's not
the
great.
same.
We need to remember in Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition, 8 is an average human's ability, so you're better than an average human, so that's good.
Super.
So it should be
Better
under
than average.
it should be under attributes if you're still looking for it. So character sheet attributes, look down at dexterity and click the dexterity button.
Ah.
There we go. Okay, so nearly everyone except for
And
Cullen.
we pulled high. It's great rolls to hit.
So this tree comes crashing down. The branches are snapping off other trees' branches. You just hear this constant crackle as you're trying to avoid this massive rift that just opened up in the earth with this mist swirling out of it. The tree branches bash down on the rest of you, and you each take 1 damage as the branches just sort of pummel on the side of your head and you sort of stumble back onto the ground. You're both knocked, or you're all knocked prone, for what it's worth.
Tracker.
It's
The
like
ground is still sort of rumbling and shaking from this massive rift that opened.
Are you okay there, chaps? Did you not notice the large tree falling?
Yeah, too late I did.
I noticed
So
it.
I'm gonna like stand up and brush myself off.
You're meant to move. No, that's easy. Are you guys going to be okay? I think we might be in trouble here. I don't know. That's not. What is that thing? Stare towards the rift.
So Viruna's gonna slowly edge towards the rift to take a gander.
Is that a good
into
idea?
it.
So as you walk over to the edge of the rift, you just see this mist sort of spilling out of it. You know, when you have like dry ice and it just sort of like folds out onto the ground? That's kind of what it's like. That mist is just sort of spreading out of this gap.
I'm not sure what this is, and Bruno's gonna back away from the rift.
Okay. Probably smart. Anyone else want to do anything with this rift?
No.
Yeah, I turned to
No.
Colin's character. Do you know of a way to, whether there's some shelter or bar or tavern?
Was this way, but then that happened, and I don't think I'm where I was.
Definitely.
Did anybody notice the ground doing funny wavy things? That's not right.
Yeah, it looked like
Check the
they're
class again.
shaking.
So a shrill scream of terror pierces the air. A short distance away in the woods to your right, something moves quickly towards you, plunging wildly through the branches. A man bursts out in the open. His hair is a dull silver color, and there's this crazed light in his amber eyes. By his pointed ears, you know he's an elf. His shirt is torn, and he's covered with mud. Gasping, he races past you, screaming, "Run! Run! The treants are coming! They'll crush us all! Flee for your very lives!" As he's just tearing through the forest.
Another raving lunatic. We've got
That
four
seems
now,
like a good
by my
idea.
count.
Let's go that way. This place isn't good. Start chasing after the elf. Let's go.
So a few more dozen feet as he moves and you start moving, you hear me cry out, just, "Ah! I see it! I see it now! You're agents of Baron Karkov!" Throwing back his head, he shouts for help. "Lord Soth! Your enemies have entered the lands! Come out of your keep and fight! Send forth your warriors to protect the people of your domain!" He busts into the tree line and branches catch his clothing, sort of hang him up, gives out another scream, "Ah! They've got me!" and passes out.
Oh, rather
Dear.
acceptable chap there.
Well, his silence is welcome, if nothing else, in this place.
And pray tell folks, what have you been imbibing this evening? Because I'm honestly worried that I might have. Have we all possibly been at the same tavern on the same draft?
I think
I'm
not.
curious about these accursed agents this man was yelling about. I think we should stick together.
What about him? Are you going to leave him caught up in the branches?
Is he still in the branches? Is he alive? Or
Well, I mean, he passed out. If you want to inspect him, you can find out.
My new scaly friend. You seem like a quite tall fellow. Would you mind? Just I'm a little short on the
Stature size.
Would I mind?
thing from trees front.
You wish me to end him so that he doesn't wake up and draw more predators to this area?
I'm thinking more bring him down so that we might have a talk, and we'll maybe gag him. Let's keep. I see you're very capable there. Let's maybe hold that off just for the minute. But if you could mind just bring him down.
inspection.
remotely. Really appreciated.
I actually grabbed him.
Well,
Okay.
information is always good. I'll try.
So as you move over to assist, Corros had already moved up there. Is that correct?
Yes.
You guys lift him down. You can see that he does have a pulse beating in his neck. He looks sweat and pale and just sort of tacky skin. You can tell he's been running furiously for quite some time. If the healer, if you want to give me a medicine check.
Yeah. Okay. What would that be?
So under non-weapon proficiencies, I think you have healing as a non-weapon proficiency. Is that correct?
I do. Where do I do the check?
So, I mean, is it a wisdom ability? Is that what it says? For the ability score? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. So under
One moment.
it's okay. Under proficiencies, we're going to look at non-weapon proficiencies. And under healing, let me see here. Priest, healing, it's a wisdom. It gives you a -2 in your check. So when you roll your wisdom, you're going to subtract 2 from what you need to get. So, for example, all negatives, depending on the direction that you're trying to roll, this sounds very complicated, but it's a lot easier than it sounds. So whatever you roll, you're going to have, let's say, a 12 or something. Your DC of your wisdom is going to be 2 better for you, right? So if you have a 12 wisdom, it's going to be a 14 you have to get under in order to succeed in the healing check.
I think it has the modifier on here already. So I'm going to click that.
Okay.
Oh, wait, actually, no, I have to input 2. Never mind.
And for you in the chat watching this live, I see some people talking about the stream being back or not working. Please let me know if you're having issues with that. Try to refresh your browser if you are continually having issues. Okay, so what did you say? Were you successful?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, that was a great roll. So it looks like he's dehydrated and he's got a bit of heat exhaustion just from wearing himself out from what has clearly just been furious running. It just looks like he passed out of sheer fright and exhaustion.
Okay. I guess since I'm right there, I had to touch him, right, to heal him, I presume. So.
Yeah, if you're gonna heal him, just let me know how much you heal him for, and then mark off the spell from your memorized.
Oh, good grief. How much am I healing him for?
Yeah, so each healing spell has the healing ability just helps you bandage people up, and it speeds up the natural rate of healing, which you wouldn't be able to do if you didn't have that non-weapon proficiency. So it's a little bit of a misnomer as being a healer, but it just means that you take care of them better. You don't have to cast a healing spell if you don't want to burn one. Just you tending to him, you get like a moist towel or a piece of cloth or something, put a little bit of water on it and wash his face off, elevate his legs, give him a little bit of room to breathe. Ultimately, his eyes start fluttering and he opens them up and he's looking at Bo, this massive, I'm sorry, not Bo, but Sirs, his massive lizard face. He's like, "You're not a treant! Are you not invading Sithicus?"
I am not invading anything. From what do you flee? What is this treant you speak of?
They're sentient trees. They were sent over by the Baron in order to invade Sithicus. I'm convinced that's what's causing these massive rifts all around us. You saw one pass there. I just ran past it. Do your eyes work like normal human eyes?
I saw a tree, yes.
Then that was it. That must have been the tree, and it must be tearing the very ground out from beneath our feet. I don't know what we're going to do. What are you all doing here?
The tree fell over, young man. I think you're getting a bit excitable.
I don't understand. What do you mean trees don't just fall over on their own?
Oh, that one did.
It must be fallen over from the Baron. It had to be in the Baron.
And who is this Baron you speak of?
Baron Uruk von Kharkov of Valishan. I'm convinced he's trying to take over. He's trying to dominate Sithicus. That is the domain you're in. Are you unfamiliar with this area?
Let's say yes for now, and then maybe you can educate us. You seem to be quite learned in these matters.
He's sort of looking at all of you. You look very healthy. And he just sort of reaches out, trying to like grab one of your packs. Does he know if you have any water, any wineskin, any food you could spare?
Yes, of course. So Viruna's gonna give him some of her water.
Oh, thank you. He's just glugging it, water spilling out the side of his face as he's just pulling it all the way back. And if you don't stop him, he will empty it all on his face and in his mouth.
Is that a good idea?
Apparently,
You may wish to preserve some of that.
Viruna's going to let him. She's chaotic good, whatever that friggin' means.
It means you don't really care about laws and systems of government as much as you care about doing the better good as you perceive it.
Okay,
But someone just flushing and drinking water that could make him sick. You know, as a healer. You know when someone cups water.
What do you know, minstrel?
So meta.
So
Clean water
I'm
may
gonna-
be scarce here.
Viruna's
Perhaps we
gonna
should
ask
conserve as
him-
much as possible.
I have been thirsty from time to time. Thank you, good sir. I know how it goes.
I have been known to be parched.
Quite my palate
Right.
far too quickly, once too often.
Okay, so I mean, after that, he's look. Oh, yeah, thank you so much, my dear. You're very strange and beautiful. You're not from around here. You're not an elf. He like moves his hand to move your hair back if it's not pulled back to look at your ears.
I am not an elf. Do you know anything about this peculiar rift that is ripped open here on the earth?
Do none of you hear properly? The treants are trying to invade on behalf of the Baron. They're creating these massive rifts in the earth. It's happening all of the time. And as you guys are sitting there talking to him, you actually feel the earth rumble. And about 30 yards to your left through the trees, you see another rift open and trees sort of tilt over and crash down to the ground as more rifts sort of open up.
That might explain why
We should
we're
not remain
here
much longer.
instead of where we were, but not a very good tactic, I would say. You know, trees falling over aren't exactly going to, I don't know, conquer anything. Very lots of firewood.
It certainly seemed to conquer your friends when I was running up. They were all on the ground, smashed under the tree. I don't know how you got back up. Did you put your thumb in your mouth and blow really hard? Is that how you inflated your bodies again? You seemed pretty flat.
That was but a scratch. We are fine.
I think a few branches didn't pose too much of a problem. You're a very excitable young person.
You see, like, some sort of like madness in his eyes. They're just whites are just ever present. His pupils are just tiny. He seems
I
very
offer him a wine flask. I'm like, maybe instead of the nerves are good chap.
Oh, I don't mind.
Gently.
I do. Glub, glub,
Gently.
glub, 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 glub.
That'll do it.
That's a great vintage. That's great. That's almost as good as some of the elves here, though it has more flavor. But seriously, we must get up. He starts to like stand up a little bit. We've got to get going. He like sort of
Okay,
grabs.
so you're familiar with this area, I take it.
This is Sithicus. You're not familiar. This is the High Lord Soth's domain.
Okay, are you missing the point that we have all just arrived here very strangely, and we're still trying to figure it out ourselves?
Are you?
So if we could maybe calm down a little notch while myself and my newfound friends here try to maybe find a little place to sit this one out. I'm a lover, not a fighter. You know,
It's
wars
not
are all
safe
good.
in this wilderness. Those
if it
rifts.
And where do these rifts go? Any back home?
They go to ultimate doom, I assume. I've never jumped in one.
Let's not do that then. Folks, what do you say? Shall this excited person lead us to somewhere better than here? Maybe somewhere with a bed and a roof? And
What is your name? I'm asking of the elf.
My name is Quallen.
Quallen.
Quallen, yes.
Can you lead us out of these woods?
Out of these woods. We're in one direction of these woods. There's the mist. Anyone who tries to flee Sithicus hears terrible singing that drives them back. It even drives them mad, I hear. Even plugging your ears doesn't seem to help. I believe that the invading treants are singing in an effort to drive the elves out of Sithicus so that Baron Karkov can claim the domain. It's insidious!
Yes, I believe this strange mist has something to do with all of our arrival here.
Yes, some
You came from the mist?
of what this poll says may have
I
merit,
take it
but
you haven't been to the
nevertheless.
third Temple of Paladine. You know, I mean, if you want to hear some bad singing, those
I don't. Who is?
monks are bad.
I'm not familiar with this paladin character you speak of. Here, Lord Soth reigns. He is.
Well, that's good for him. He sounds like a rather jolly chap.
No, no, he is not jolly. He's the absolute opposite of jolly. He's a giant of a man, completely encased in black plate mail. He rules Sithicus from a Negragaard keep to the southeast. It's located in a deep chasm that lies between the elven cities of Harthellen and Hroth.
That's very apt and very descriptive. Maybe you've got a better bard. I'll have to have a bard here. Maybe my friend. Sorry for the accusation earlier on. Do you play better tunes? Maybe cheer this Lord Soth up, and we can dispense with these riffs. If maybe all he's looking for is some better music.
Well, I have that ability to play that type of riff to defeat that riff, but I do speak to the elfin in tongue. I ask him, "Do you know of an area where there's safety, where we can go?" And then I'll buy you a beer.
You speak Elvish. You're almost an elf. You're sort of spoiled, as it seems. A little beefy around the edges, not quite as delicate as elves, though you have a color to your skin which the elves in Sithicus have lacked for an eternity, it seems. I can lead you to the nearest town as long as it's away from the mists and the border of Sithicus. Would you like that?
Yes.
Good.
Seems like we have a plan.
All right.
If we're gonna go, I would like to ask for your protection. He sort of stands behind the lizard man. Maybe you could face the Treants on my behalf.
I speak to them in common to the rest of the group. He's agreed to safety, and we'll buy him a beverage of his choice, but he wishes protection. I think I do.
Very well. Sounds like a good offer.
Not like an entirely unreasonable request. Seems like a fair trade to me. Shall we proceed?
I tell him to lead on. We're right here as a group, so we'll just follow your direction.
Very
I
good.
believe you're leading.
All right, so I do have a map here that we're all going to be able to look at, but it is dark because you're all not familiar with where you are in this territory called Sithicus. You can basically see, outside of the forest on the best of clearest of days, about 5 miles. That's the range of this light. It's 5 miles. So imagine you are completely covered in dense forests. This is a massive terrain, and it's going to take you some time to get anywhere. But Quallen tells you that he's willing to lead you as long as it's away from the border. You see this red bar here. That's where the mist is really strongest, and it's ever present, almost like a wall of sorts. And so it's almost night at this point. Are you guys wanting to just travel through the night?
Does it make a difference if we can't see anyway?
I think we should make haste, get away from these rips that are cracking open.
Yeah, they don't seem to be healthy.
So your average party can travel overland about 10 miles before you get exhausted and you have to take a rest and sort of camp for the night, memorize spells, clean your weapons, etc. And that'll get you about 25 miles. So because we're already starting in the middle of the night, you guys already had a full day of activity and it's just wearing into this evening. You're not going to be able to travel that full distance, but you do travel about 5 miles from where you were, and you find yourself next to this river that sort of forks off. Now, the river is very wide, as you can imagine by this scale, and morning has already come during the course of your traveling, and you see like the sort of what should be a bright sunny day is bleak and overcast. You see ravens flying off in the distance, cawing out, sort of looking for carrion to feast on. Every once in a while you hear something scratch and scurry underneath the foliage of the forest as you sort of break out of the densest part of the forest facing south. Quallen tells you there's a road of sorts a little bit further south here that we can break through. If you've never been to Sithicus before, you should probably know this is not a happy place, and it's been falling to pieces very recently. You see, Lord Soth has not ventured out of Negragaard Keep for some time. He was last seen, as far as I know, 2 months ago, about the same time that these rifts started beginning opening. I think it's the Treant's way of taking advantage of his absence. I believe something must be wrong with the High Lord. Otherwise, this great warrior would have emerged from the keep to deal with this invasion by Baron Karkov. Oh, God. Can we stop for a while, please? I am very tired. I could use more of that wine, if you have some more.
Maybe it'll help you out. How about we get a little fire going first?
We need to keep the fires low. Undead creatures roam this land. Wolves. Even...
Are you
rumor of
familiar how to do that?
what? Making fire? Of course.
Keeping it low. Do you have particular techniques you can demonstrate to us? You seem to be quite learned.
I can teach you how to start a fire. I can't imagine any of you don't know how to start a fire. But yes, please gather round. Fire starting 101.
What I mean, young man, is obviously I can start a fire, but can you keep it low? Do you have a way to?
Oh yes.
Not.
Yes, I know how to subdue the fire and make sure that it doesn't burn too brightly or have too much smoke flying up in the sky.
Excellent. I knew you were talented. I could just tell straight away by looking at you. Please, lead on, and for your trouble, just handle the flask.
Thank you very much. He takes a swill of it pretty deeply, hands it back to you.
No. Just, you sort out the fire and consider that a little token of my appreciation.
Oh, it's very kind of you, good sir. Very kind indeed. The rest of you are pretty stingy with your wine glass, I see. Okay, let me get to this. So while he's making the fire, what are you all doing?
Well, Viruna's going to be in the very near vicinity looking for firewood for the night.
Okay. So remember,
Thanks.
it is, you guys traveled through the night. It is, if there was some sort of clock, it's before noon, around 10-ish in the morning. It's not brisk or anything. The only real stirring of the air is from this massive rushing river that's flowing south next to you. It's throwing a bit of mist up in the air and towards you, and that's the really only feeling of comfort. Other than that, even though there is cloud cover, there's no oppressive sun, it's feeling pretty humid and uncomfortable just being here in general. Okay, so you're all sitting
I suppose we'll make our introductions as well. I know I've done it before the game, but this will be the opportunity because we've really introduced ourselves, so I suppose we'll go through that.
Okay. With Quallen, you mean?
I'm sure the first thing Circe would do would.
Go ahead.
Oh, I think the first thing Circe would do is set up some type of perimeter around the camp to make sure there aren't any immediate threats just waiting by, and maybe try to find a spot where you can kind of be a little bit off from the camp where you could kind of be the unexpected, element should something decide to attack toward the fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're sort of doing your best to sort of skirt the perimeter, make sure that everything's clear, and you're sort of memorizing the territory. So as you do your patrols, you'll notice if something's been disturbed. Doing your best to sort of blend in. Again, this is not open plains, though the map doesn't show it's completely dense forest. It is still forested, the entire terrain, and it is a rough terrain, uneven levels. It's not like flat plains or anything like that. So you're easily able to sort of identify the territory around you as you see Viruna going around and picking up firewood and finding dead trees and breaking them down and bringing the fire over to Quallen, who has been able to light this really nice fire that's contained and provides some nice warmth. He's got some stones from the river that are creating this nice backdrop that's reflecting the radiant heat back on you. You guys are able to start cooking some sort of food if you've brought it with your rations.
But just having to have a pot, I was just thinking, I'll go set the pot on and at least get water, put a bit of salt, and think, anybody have anything they'd contribute? Maybe get a little broth going and warm our bones?
Crickets.
There's bones in there, you said?
No, warm arbons.
Oh.
I've started off, so I don't shoot. I basically put a bit of salt and water, and it's like, well, anybody want to add in? We can make a nice little soup or a broth for the evening.
Qualin,
I might be able to
George,
hunt something.
so-
Okay. So if you want to hunt, you have wilderness, right? As non.
Oh, yeah, I had something like that. I think. Hey,
If anyone's any herbs, tubers, fruit,
If I
vegetables,
recall.
or
Yeah, give me a check on that.
Okay, proficiencies, right? Proficiencies.
Oh, you guys can't see the light of the map that's on the far
No,
left
no,
of
we're-
it?
Oh, did I not? I must have ended up not taking it. Oh, well. I don't know how I took Boyer and Fletcher instead. I should have taken hunting. What the heck? I got set snares and survival, if those help.
well,
Yes,
Sure.
that snares definitely would.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
So give me a roll check for that. All right. So you're able to put up a few snares in places that you, just based on your knowledge, know that if not rodents of some size, maybe a larger fox would go through, and you sort of set those up. If you guys are going to be spending a long day, or at least a few hours of rest here, that you can check it in a couple hours for any food. Back at the camp, while you're doing that, Qualin comes up from the river, and he has this sort of disgusting slimy moss from the river, and he just kerplunks it in. Like, this is gonna be really delicious. Thank you for starting this broth.
oh, good job. That's an interesting herb. But any of you find chops good at foraging? I'm sure.
Yes.
I just
course.
foraged this.
Yeah, of course, and we can. That's a good start, and we can add as well. The more we can put in, we can get a nice hearty meal going.
Oh.
A pat him on the shoulder. You're excellent. You're a fantastic person. Glad we've met.
Yes.
Albeit under strange circumstances.
So you immediately start hearing another rumbling sound, and almost like a cracked lip in the river, it sort of splits off into land. Another rift opens up. You see water sort of spill and divert a little bit into this rift, and more mist and sort of fog comes spilling out of this rift, and it sort of encompasses the entire camp that you're in, almost shrouding everything as if it were darkness once again. You're howling in the distance. Qualin's looking around. I think the treants are back. Oh God! Oh God!
Steady.
The treants are back.
Steady, let's not
You
get
heard it.
overexcited.
You heard a look at the rift. That's evidence. Oh God! He starts hammering his head with his fists. We need to keep moving. We don't have time to stay here. We got to get to the nearest town.
First things first, we can't move anywhere without energy.
Energy.
These things are opening, so we could easily walk into one. It's not right at us, so let's stay put for a minute. Let these rumblings subside.
I don't trust this. What if it opens up beneath us? We have to
Then
keep on the move.
That's our fate.
That's our fate! Oh my God! You're in league with the treants! You must be in league with the treants! He stands up, he throws the wine on the ground. You've deceived me for too long, sir! And he just starts running south. Oh gods!
I don't think that young chap's entirely stable. I hope you folks are of a stronger constitution. He's going to do himself some damage.
Have we ruled out the possibility that his madness may be creating these rifts? Perhaps if we let him get some distance, we'll be a little better off.
Yeah, I think I'm not too familiar with this place. We could run into another one of these, or stay still. Nothing could happen, or it could open up. I don't think it's entirely under our control right now, so I'm a believer of we worry about things that we can actually worry about. Most importantly, we need some rest and food. So if anybody is good, as I said, good at foraging, wants to add to this wonderful broth that started, more than welcome.
There should be some concern about these rifts randomly appearing all around you guys. This is not normal activity for anywhere you've ever been. It is very much it's a very dangerous situation. If you are caught in a rift, then you will presumably plunge to your death.
Yes, but it's
And
running.
it's
We
happening
could run
with
into one as well. It could open up right under us, or it could not.
Is it happening with less frequency now than before?
No, it's been happening pretty regularly, almost every 10 minutes or so. It's as if this land is completely tearing itself apart.
Obviously, I grabbed my flask before any of the content spells. Like, that's such a waste.
I think the elf may be right. We should keep moving.
I think this rift that just opened up next to our camp is a bad omen. Perhaps we should keep moving further down the road.
I mean, just let me know if you're all going to be moving or if some of you are going to split off in the group. Just let me know what's up.
If you think it'll make a difference,
I mean,
but if these are opening
I was going
everywhere...
to say that, but he's going. Like, we should move, but he's going. Oh, I was just saying when he said we should move, it was kind of almost like a whether you move or not, I'm moving, and he's going to go, And we have getting out of here before the world falls apart.
Right.
Do we want to track this guy? Just keep him a distance?
Does anyone have tracking? I mean, you can try it untrained. It's just going to be a lot more
survival.
difficult.
I like the
Does
idea
survival
of
help with
that path.
Survival
that
doesn't
looks
help
nice
so
and
much
solid.
with tracking.
Okay.
I mean, you could roll it just to see if it helps a little bit.
E.
No.
Probably not, huh?
Yeah, you're just like, I'm not sure where he went. The foliage is so thick beneath you that it seems like he almost just disappeared into the darkness, into the mist.
Okay, folks, what do you say about following that path and a point towards the path, as opposed to blundering through the woods if we have to move?
So you do. What's next to you, going north to south, is the massive river that forks off. That dotted trail below you is nearly 4 miles away, so you don't actually see it.
Oh, right, okay.
Just remember that this is a huge distance and best case scenario of what you would be able to see. So just role play a little bit.
Is that
You can't
is that a
actually.
hut?
Yeah,
Is
it's like
that
a little
just
tent.
representation of our campsite.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, gotcha.
So you want to start heading south, following the river south?
Where's the rift here?
The rift opened up just to the north of you.
And we were coming from the.
You were
Which
coming from the northwest.
way did we arrive here?
Shall we
Okay. Yeah.
follow the river then?
I'd say
away
east. What do you say
from
east?
the scary portal?
So this direction is east. This is west. North.
I say east along the river.
So you would have to cross the river in order to continue going east unless you follow it south.
Oh, never mind.
I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah,
we
sounds
should cross
good.
the river.
Ping, 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 we're all
Yeah.
the search. Pew, pew, pew,
I mean, this is just a huge river. So, I mean, I'm sure the Bakali, you can swim, so you could just dive in and just go at it. I'm not sure everyone else is as adept at running through.
I tend not to get wet unless I have to. That's usually not a good idea.
Yeah. All right, so you guys start moving south along the river?
I suppose I'll clear my pot
Yeah,
away.
not through the river, along it.
Okay. You collect your pot, empty out that nasty, mossy seaweed stuff that he threw in there. It didn't look edible anyway. And just ahead of you, you hear a loud cursing. A man is shouting over the sound of whimpers and pleas for mercy. You also hear a strange rattling noise. What do you mean you don't remember seeing the ghost with the crooked smile? When I spoke to you a week ago, you seemed certain enough that you could remember the spot where you saw her. Now suddenly you've forgotten, huh? Well, maybe this will help jog your memory. Suddenly you hear the heavy sound of weapons hitting flesh. As the same movement, in the same moment, a woman begins to scream, "Oh God! Oh God! No!" What do you do?
Okay, so this river is quite loud.
Did you hear the screams from the river?
No, what I mean is it's going to mask footfall as I
I'm gonna
maybe.
inspire my my companions just to give them a morale boost here, so they feel inspired and heroically encouraged here, so they're not too spooked out about what we just heard.
Okay, so for the, what is that, like a full turn of singing?
It says it can heroically inspire its companions with word or song, granting a +1 bonus to attack or +1 bonus to saving throws or +2 bonus to morale. So I'm just gonna use it for the preparing for something that may be coming our way.
Right. I'm just wondering how long it takes to do that.
The bar must spend at least 3 full rounds singing or reciting before the battle begins.
Okay. So you start singing. I just want to note this moment. You guys hear this terrible screaming and threatening and the hacking of flesh, and you start singing heroic song. This
The
ballad.
bard is chopping the woman. He's cutting her up to pieces.
But
It's
we're gonna
so
do a great job.
terrible. We're going to save her now.
Okay, so it said 3 rounds, so that's like 18, 20 seconds.
Okay.
Honestly, I think Circe at that would distance himself from the music and try to fade into the trees as much as possible.
We'll
thinking
enjoy
that's
the
gonna-
bonus in the process.
That's going to draw whoever that is toward us, perhaps.
Do you are you heading toward the sound you heard?
I think, yeah, you said it's south, right?
So I
think
think
maybe
we slow
Yeah,
walk.
sort of southwest.
yeah,
of
an
here.
arc through the trees to kind of come around and possibly avoid it, or if not, at least have advantageous position on it.
Okay, is everyone else going with him?
So
Yeah.
it's what this direction. So yeah, that tree line looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, Veruna's going to approach cautiously and quietly.
Okay, so I need to introduce you all to your character tokens here. Gabriel's character is not here, so I'm moving him back. Let's see. Talandril, you're right here. Viruna, you're right here. Chris, your character's right here. You guys need if you put your name, your character's name in the character name position, it should change the name there. And then Loramir, you have Bo, your character's right there. So Lorimir's not here either. So it's the 4 of you right here. You see this sort of rough and tumble forest floor. And then ahead of you, 6 skeletons are hacking a male elf to death. A female elf is screaming. Another male elf, flanked by 2 more sword-wielding skeletons, is standing with his fists clenched while blood spatters him. A dwarf with bone-white sideburns and a mustache is directing the actions of the skeletons. He steps forward and forces the female elf's head closer to the corpse. "Do you want to remember yet, Hithana?" he says. "Or do I have to kill your brother as well as your husband? Lord Soth is too busy to tend to these matters himself, but he still wants to find his lady." "All I remember is the howling," the elven woman moans. "Nothing else. Nothing. None of us remember anything anymore." The dwarf gestures to the skeletons, who turn slowly toward the remaining elf and raise their bloody swords. So what do you guys plan to do?
There's 6 skeletons.
Yeah, do you see if you scan
Yeah,
up?
up in the top right.
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Claire.
So don't move anything
This
because
side
we're going to do
top, this
initiative.
little
But
rock.
give me 1 second. So we're going to be doing initiative first. So the way initiative works with 2nd edition is you state your intentions. You use, if you're going to use a weapon, then you use your weapon speed to add to your initiative roll, which is a D10. And then if you're going to cast a spell, the casting time is going to be added to the initiative roll as well. Some of the casting times are going to be a turn, which is like 10 full minutes. Some of them are a round, which is, a full session of everyone going into initiative, etc. So let me know what you guys are going to do. I'm going to start with just in my screen at the top here. What are you going to do, Loramith? No, not Loramith. I'm sorry, Talandril.
Okay, so I'm looking at these rocks. Are they suitable to hide behind?
Yeah,
I wanna-
yeah. You could move up and just sort of perch
Okay,
yourself.
so I
behind
want to bumble on up there quietly and get my blowgun out.
Okay. So with movement, I know I've told you guys, but for the sake of people watching who may not know in 2nd edition, your movement speed is times by 10 in combat situations in feet. So what's your movement speed?
12, I believe.
So 12. So you can move 120 feet in 1 full turn. If you want to do anything else, like attack, you can only move half of that. So you're able to
Right,
move 120 feet up to that rock if you'd like.
I don't want to attack this round. I want to get myself tucked in so I can't be seen
Okay.
and have my blowgun ready.
Right. Okay.
So,
Well, I mean, you have 120 feet to get up to that point.
so that'll take me to here, yes.
I mean, I didn't measure it. You should be able to, yeah. I mean, let's see.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
have
so-
a lot to spare as well. Okay, so I'm sorry, we didn't do initiative. So go ahead and give me initiative before you move. Just go ahead and move your character back and let's
Okay.
get you. If you select your character and then roll, like click the initiative button, it should put you in the turn order. It should.
I don't know. Rush myself on. Dun. Okay, so look. Ah, let's see. Strength is out of intelligence. No.
So I'm just looking for initiative.
That's what I'm doing too.
Which tab is that on?
So if you click
attributes,
on character sheet and weapons, you're gonna have
Weapons.
the bottom. You
So
have melee.
I don't need
range.
everyone to do initiative yet. I just wanted Colin's character to go because what
Yeah, that's
you
what I'm trying-
choose to do is going to affect your initiative roll.
Yes. So
So really, if you want to do it, once you tell me what you want to do, we'll figure out what modifiers we need to add on to it.
yeah, so that's what I want to do. I want to sneak up behind that rock,
Okay.
get myself tucked in so I'm not seen, and just have my blue dart ready.
So do you
Or-
guys not see an initiative, anything on here to roll?
I think I've
You
found
mean
it.
when you click on your little character, dude?
It's after each weapon that you might choose to use.
Gotcha.
It has its own initiative there, right?
And for the sake of you, Colin, just go ahead and roll a d10 on the dice roller, since you're not going to have any modifiers.
Okay.
So is low good with initiative rolls, or
Yeah.
good?
I think it's a bit like Call of Cthulhu. You have to roll under your stats.
When you're rolling to attack, you need to roll over. So it's a little wibbly wobbly with it. Give me 1 second. I'm just adding the rest of these guys and hitting the wrong buttons in the process. This is going to take.
Skeletons.
Yeah, this is going to take a little bit longer because again, we're all new to this. I mean, it's been like 20 years since I've done this last. So
But also, we're not using a traditional character sheet. Don't forget,
If you can.
It's a brand new system.
if there's an initiative thing on the character sheet that doesn't involve a weapon, then you can roll it there as well.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. All right, I think I got
That's
them
my
all.
deaf
So
dog, man. The
7,
only thing he
6,
hears in the world is the other dog bark.
I hear some
4,
hellhounds.
3, 2.
Oh.
Okay, I think I got all of those guys. So, Colin, did you roll a d10?
Yes, I got a 4.
Okay. Next, Bo, what is Sir's going to do?
I was thinking he was going to load up. He wants to make a strong first impression here. Load up one of his +2 arrows and launch it right at the leader,
Oh, wow.
just from
okay.
where he's at.
So the leader being,
The one who was doing the most talking and threatening and whatnot.
so that would be this dwarf right here.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what's the speed modifier on your bow? Or go ahead and roll initiative on it and
It
see
is.
if it adds it into it.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 of my weapons are not showing up under weapons, but they're in my proficiencies.
Yeah, you definitely need to add those to the weapons.
What did
Oh,
I
man.
do wrong?
We can deal with that once we start doing melee.
Okay, right. That's
So it shows 15 initiative roll.
That's a pretty high number, huh?
Yeah.
That seemed kind of really high, right?
Well, maybe it is. I mean, give me a second and I'll look, and maybe it's the highest goes first here. It's just been a minute. All right, so what are you going to do, Corros? What's your plan?
I'm gonna take lead with the lizard man and target the leader as well with my longbow.
Okay, so roll initiative with your longbow. And you guys are using the ranged options on your longbow tab?
Yes. Should be right.
Alright, 16, nice. And then what were you going to do, Viruna?
Well, seeing as how there are skeletons about, is an undead ward something I could use?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to tell you how to use your character, but you can actually turn undead. So it's to do that, it's a full turn. You can't have anything in your hands, and I need you to sort of tell me what you would do to channel power from your god through your holy medallion, and what effect happens once, you know, it sort of blasts out at those undead creatures. So if you want to do that, there's no modifiers. You just roll your initiative regularly, like a d10.
I think you froze.
Oh, no.
We broke Ashley.
No, no.
We broke the wizard already.
All right, for her sake, I'm just going to add her to the list. Oh, no. All right, well, I'm just going to roll a d10 for her, and if she gets something better, then we'll let that go. She got 3. So remember, if you're using, if it's in a chart, then it's going to do the auto math for you. But basically, if you're using a ranged weapon that's not strength-based, meaning you're not throwing it physically, then you use your dexterity modifier, if you have one, to add to the to your initiative, I mean. Okay, so let's look here. All right. So initiative, I'm looking here. So the lowest number acts first. So I'm going to, it's descending order, or ascending order, I should say. And the first person is a skeleton that acts first. I got everyone doing what they wanted to do, right? Okay, so this skeleton is still holding, he's just standing guard next to this elf male. Because you guys haven't done anything, so it doesn't know you're there yet. The skeleton next to him is doing the exact same thing. This skeleton moves toward the other creature to sort of take care of him. This one moves down as well. You see this dwarf just sort of holding onto the edge of this woman, just leering, grinning. You're a little far to see the front of him. Once you get into view, I'll show you a picture of what he looks like. It's Viruna's turn, which doesn't seem to, I guess I'll roll for her since she's sort of frozen. That sucks so bad right at the beginning of combat. All right. So basically, for turning undead, you need to roll a d20, lining up with turning undead chart. In Ravenloft, it's a little bit more challenging to turn undead than it is anywhere else. So you basically line up the hit die of the creature with your level, and that tells you what you have to roll above in order to damage it. In her particular case, she just has to roll above a 1 in order to turn these things. And for her, I rolled a 4, and so immediately you see every single one of these skeletons start running away. Well, on their turn, they're going to run. But she stands in front of all of you, just sort of puffs her chest out, calls out, "Mishakal, help me turn these abominations!" And she just brings her hands out, and light just sort of shines across the distance of this forest, casting deep shadows, behind rocks and behind trees. But the light is just blaring across. The dwarf sort of like brings his arm up. "What the hell is this?" And the elves are sort of blinded, turning their head away from this divine light as it shatters these skeletons into pieces. I'm sorry, it doesn't shatter them, but they're on their turn. They're going to be running. So next up is Talandril. You're going to move up to that rock?
Yes, I'm going to sneak though, so if I do this, will that help?
It's going to make you move slower if you're going to be sneaking.
Yep.
So you may not be able to move your full. So it's going to be half. Well, I think it might be your third of your
So
full
60
movement.
then? A third, right? That's 30 feet then?
Let's find out exactly here. So move silently is what you're doing here.
Yes.
So you can try to move silently. You're reduced to a third of your normal speed. So if you have a normal of a 12, 120.
So 6 feet.
So it would be 40, right? From 120.
Right, so yep. I'm going to use that branch, I think, for cover initially to
Okay.
sort of sneak down behind it.
Right.
So wrong. Move. So I'll take myself up. I'll nestle myself in here. Just for the moment, and then I'll maybe bounce across that rock. I don't quite want to be seen, but I want to see what's going on here.
Yeah. I mean, from that rock, from that log, you can see what's happening.
Yep.
So this skeleton that hasn't acted yet, that holy light forces it to move. It has a movement of 12. Oh, jeez. So it runs through the forest on its own. And we're back to the top of the round, and this one is just bolting, the same as the other one, moving completely off the map. Same with this one. And these skeletons are just fleeing as fast as they can, and Azrael, this dwarf, is screaming after them, "Where are you going? Come back and fight! It's just a little light, you cowards!" Sirs, you're up.
All right, I'll let loose with this arrow. Let's see. I think I'm pulling the right one here. Oh, that was damage, wasn't it?
Yeah, there should be a chart above it for attack.
Oh shoot. Hit. This one. I mean, it says hit.
So armor class is -6. Jeez. So an arrow just flies just silently through the air, embeds itself in the back of this dwarf, who just screams, "Ah! Who the hell did that?" Sort of turns around trying to see what's going on. Corros, we're back with you. Now, here's... Corros, we haven't had you go yet. Go ahead.
Longbow. I'm gonna roll to hit. It says rate of fire 2/1, so is that 2 attacks? For
Yeah.
that
So
weapon?
what 2 attacks during a round means is you fire one on your initiative, and at the end of everyone else going, at the bottom of initiative, you go again.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm rolling to hit.
So the arrow plunks down on the ground next to him. He just looks at all of you, just grimace on his face. "You're gonna pay!" These skeletons are all just terrified and running away. Which one is that one? Right here. These elves, they're standing here. This one is completely hacked to bits. This one is just sort of standing, just terrified, staring back at you and like looking around, not really sure what to do. This female elf that this dwarf was holding and no longer is holding, runs over to this corpse and just drops on the ground, just tears streaming around her face. Okay, so I'm trying to think of how we can speed this up with the whole weapon speed thing. Instead of doing initiative every single round, which is what we're supposed to be doing here. But that will quickly tax, making this take forever. So this is the bottom of the round, so go ahead and give me another attack roll. for your 2 everyone. You should have been able to do that too, Bo, having 2 attacks.
Yeah, it says 2-1.
So both of you just go ahead and roll again. Corros, yours missed, hit into the ground. Bo, yours also missed. He sort of leans aside and it goes right next to him. Well, actually, no. That's exactly what you need to hit. I'm sorry. So it like sort of buries in his shoulder. He screams out.
Right.
"Rah! You see him have like hoist up this axe that was hanging from his belt, and he's just completely sort of almost berserk look on his face as he starts charging forward.
Are the arrows recoverable, like the +2 arrows, or is it like one and done?
You were using magical arrows?
Because if they're not recoverable, I would use a regular. The first one. But if it's not recoverable, this would be a regular one.
Yeah. So sometimes it depends on 1 if you can find it, and 2 if it didn't break off. And so that's just a percentile roll in my case. Just remember how many you used, and after the combat, when you're looking for them, I'll let you know. Okay, so his movement is 6. That 6 is a 30. So 5, 10, 15, 20.
That's just a regular.
30. He's not quite able to get to you. He doesn't notice. Talandril, did you roll a move silently? Moved?
Did we not build that into my movement?
No, I just need you to roll the dice to see whether or not you're effective at it. So there's a
right, I didn't realize that, but I thought moving silently, that's what you said, it was a third of the movement, so I took that.
No, that's just you trying. It's whether you're
okay.
effective
So what do I
or
need to
not with the
roll?
So there should be a chart of thieves skills with a percentile reference at the very end of the chart for moving silently.
Oh, right, move silently.
So and you need to roll under that percentage.
So I've got base of 20%.
If you look at the far right, there should be a total number of all your modifications.
All right, 20. Yeah. So if I
just roll under 20 with a D100. Okay, so yeah, you weren't quite quiet, and you see that as he rounds the bend of that boulder, he sees you, but he's not running to attack you. What's that?
Was that pesky light?
Could have been it.
Yeah, that looked me up.
Okay, so because we don't have Veruza here, I'm just going to skip, or Viruna, I'm just going to skip through her. Does any of you want to play her character in her absence? Because I don't think it's fair if I play her.
All right.
Consider my dice rolls. The last time I played another character, I wiped them out in a game. So I wiped out 2 characters in the game, so I'll not.
All right, Chris, do you want to play her character?
And she's a cleric. Is it? Who am I playing?
Yeah, Viruna.
Viruna.
I can add you to her.
Viruna. All right.
Ability control.
She is a cleric. Oh, the joy.
So you already turned everyone, and now you have this mad dwarf running down on
she
you
has
all.
spells. Would I be able to see that, or?
Yeah, if you look at her character sheet, if you open it, I just gave you access to it.
Just clicking all the wrong buttons right now. Viruna. I thought it was a Viruna. It's Viruna. All right. I'm loading up her tune. Spells. Where does she go?
What do you mean?
It's supposed to be restarting her. Must be a
Really?
issue.
Well, here's the problem. She has no spells memorized.
All right, let me open it and look.
Here, I think she has Sacred Flame. I'm taking it.
Yeah, the only spell memorized is Bless.
I just put that in.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I mean, it
Then she's coming back.
Sacred Guardian, speak with that. There
Oh,
is a
yeah.
Sacred Flame.
She's
Okay, she's just logged into roll 20, so she may pop back on.
Yeah, if she does come back on, of course, she'll take back over her character. But throughout the course of this adventure, if you can't make a session, someone else, once you've been introduced to the game, will play your character. So as soon as Dana and Gabriel introduce their characters, if they can't make it for a session, someone else will play their character for them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I understand this first game is going to be a little clunky because it's the first time some have ever played 2nd edition, and it's been a long time for me. And these are new character sheets and a new Roll20 system, so we expect it to take a little bit of time here.
Yeah, it's all going good so far.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to, let's see, I like to cast Command, but I need to move.
Do you see a list of her spells that she's chosen?
She hasn't. It's blank. So
Because I know she mentioned it somewhere that she had chosen them, but I don't see anywhere.
yeah, I'm under priest.
There she is. She's
Oh,
joining.
sweet.
Yay, good.
Welcome back.
Hey,
Okay, so I had you.
that was a catastrophe.
Are you okay? Is everything good?
Yeah, it was my PC.
Okay. So right now it's your turn again. You had already cast Turn Undead, and you made every single one of the undead run away.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
You were awesome.
It's quite a. It's
Oh,
quite
you
impressive.
sorry about that,
Beautifully.
guys.
It's all good, but it's your turn now. So what would you like to do?
So the skeletons have fled.
Yeah,
You said?
that dwarf is charging in toward you.
Oh, great.
It's
Okay.
right in front of Talandril right now, about 10 feet away.
Were you guys attacking said dwarf?
Yeah, both. These names is going to take me a second to get used to it. Sirs and Corros have already been shooting arrows at it. Wow, someone's audio is really blowing up.
That's probably me. I had to put my fans on. I'm watching my computer temperature here. That was the issue.
Gotcha.
So, okay, Viruna is going to, let us see, open up my sheet here. Well, okay. She's going to use her pellet bow to attack the dwarf.
Okay. So you bring out your bow. Go ahead and do you have it set up on your ranged weapons?
Oh, I see. Here we go. Yes.
Okay. So go
Now,
ahead
do I
and-
have to do the initiative or
No,
just the
we're-
hit?
I think I'm just going to do that for the very first one,
Okay.
just for efficiency and stuff. Oh, that is very loud.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So okay, so
Is it really
I might
bad?
be able to mute
yeah,
your
I mean, just
thing
can
when
you
you're not
mute yourself
talking.
when you're not talking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Appreciate it. So you shoot it off to armor class 10. His is much better than that. So it just sort of hits branches on the way and just sort of tumbles to the side. Did you want to move at all, or are you okay where you are?
Is
Sorry,
she?
I mean, you're right here right now. Pretty far away.
Yeah. Who is the blue guy by that fallen branch in the door?
That's
That would be
Talandril?
me. I was attempting to sneak off, but you lit me up with your bright spell, so he's twigged on to me.
Okay.
So,
we're
thanks,
just
wizard.
gonna come to over by this boulder.
Okay. All right, Talandril, you're about 10 feet away from this.
It was a
pissed
worthwhile
off-
trade.
Yeah. This pissed off charging dwarf. What are you going to do?
If he's charged towards me, I think I'll stick him with the pointy end of my sword in. I was gonna sneak up and hit him with a blow dart, but that's not gonna happen.
Okay, so you would have to move into combat range with him first, and then just go ahead and give me a attack roll.
Okay, so we'll go with this. I'm not meant to be fighting. Where
No,
are
you're
yous?
not. At all.
What is this? How'd I end up fighting? That wasn't the plan.
So do you
Right,
have
and then-
weapons on your melee list?
Yeah, so the short sword and dagger, so I'm gonna poke him on the short sword.
Okay.
So what did you say, initiative first?
No, just go ahead and roll to hit.
Oh, just roll the hit? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, that was the right thing.
So do you have it set up for... Because that so you were
Right.
rolling for initiative.
Oh, is that the wrong thing?
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, wrong. Okay, it's the wrong thing. The hit button.
I think it'll say
If I roll the hit button, would that help?
Yeah, that would help a lot.
How's that working out?
Oh, that's great. That's a great
Oh.
hit. So you just slide your sword
away from
right
me.
into his side. He just lets out a scream. Ah! Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Okay. Oh, right. That's the bottom one.
Yeah. So don't roll the crit one. There's a small dice next to it. So
Oh,
he's-
right, next to
he's
the damage, yeah.
a medium creature. So make sure you're doing the damage SM column.
SM small medium, right. Point. Let's have a crack at that. Ugh!
5 damage. All right.
Avachi! So,
Okay, so if you guys
people, some
select
help
your
would be
tokens,
appreciated. I'm not meant to be fighting this big angry thing.
if you guys select your tokens, I've already populated you with your hit points, your armor class, and your base THAC0. So red is armor class. There should be a red circle above your character. Green is your total hit points, and the blue is your base THAC0. When you want to mark down any hits taken, you can actually just click on the green and do like -5, for example, and it'll auto-populate and like adjust your hit points like that. So you can just hover over them and see what current hit points are.
That's
So-
cool, man. And I noticed it pulls from the sheet as well because I changed it on the sheet and it changed there automatically.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Okay, so just keep that in mind for tracking purposes. You just immediately slice into him. He's screaming obscenities at you, doing his best to, not bleed out of the side. Sirs, you're up. What do you want to do?
All right, and here's where I would choose if I wanted to move up in melee. I could do that now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think he'll pull out his what's it called? Kopech. Is that right?
Yeah, it's basically like a
the
bench short sword.
curved sword.
Yeah.
And let's
So-
finish off this dwarf here.
The flanking rules in second edition are different from any other edition except for first, right? So basically anything to the 180 degree in front of them is normal attacks. If he's using a shield, for example, and you're on the opposite shield side, then he doesn't get the shield modifier. But you have to be completely behind him at 180 degrees in order to get any sort of flank modifier, meaning, you move behind him and he's focused on someone else. So it's basically just attacking from behind. So make sure when you're moving your characters that facing your characters is incredibly important, because I'm going to go ahead and make adjustments to other people hitting you based on the direction of your token and the equipment you're using. So for right now, you're facing
Oh, so
away
we should
from him,
actually
sirs.
rotate our.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So you should be able to select your
So-
character, and there's like this long blue line that you can spin. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh, and I would want to be
so that's
here, I
basically.
guess, because he's facing southeast or southwest.
Well, in
rather.
either case, I would
Or-
say that's still 180 behind him where you
Or-
were. So basically, that gives you a
Okay.
+2 to hit him. So when you roll and it says hit X armor class, just subtract 2 more.
Okay. All right. And do I do it right now or?
Yeah, you rolled a hit.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Go into the melee tab and
Oh, that
so
doesn't matter. That definitely hits.
-6.
You just reach in and you hack into his back. He screams out, "Ah! You're gonna pay for that, lizard!" Damage. Oh my gosh!
Dang! Wowzers!
Oh, smash!
He has an insanely high strength roll too. Like I was stunned when he rolled it. Oh my gosh, that's so much. So 19. Holy.
Does his helmet like squish and he just becomes like a helmet and super?
This little guy doesn't actually have a helmet. Let me show you what he looks like, just for sake of everyone watching at home and your guys' imaginations here. This is what this little dwarf creature looks like. He has these big mutton chops. He's grizzled,
Oh, wow.
veiny. He's old. He's definitely seen some shit. I mean, he's a tough creature. But I mean, that was devastating. All right, so great job, sirs. Corros, you too. Oh no,
Was he still
Corros,
alive?
is you here? What is going on?
I am.
Okay. It's like,
I'm here. Just my wife. I was talking to her for a minute.
gotcha.
I'm up here. He's still standing, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's hurt.
All right.
What does the bard do?
Bard, I was thinking casting a spell, but I don't know if I have anything that's really gonna do much here. Other than I wanted to charm him, but I didn't take it. Well, times to have it. I'll just do a magic missile.
Okay, so is this from your memorized spells, not from the scroll?
It is, yes, for my memorized.
So what's
I'm
the
not,
casting time on that?
1.
Okay. So you just immediately just speak your arcane language, put your hand out, and it goes out. Did you read the description of magic missile?
Memory serves me. Was it just how many missiles I get? 1 or 1 per level?
Well, it's different in 2nd edition. Let me see if
Sure here.
magic missile. So you guys, just for future references, try to have that player's handbook open so you can look at your spells and stuff. And that way it'll just go by a little bit faster here. So magic missile is 176. All right, so range is 60 yards plus 10 yards per level. Casting time is 1. Use of magic missile creates up to 5 missiles of magical energy that dart forth from the wizard's fingertip, unerringly striking their target. This includes enemy creatures in a melee. The target creature must be seen or otherwise detected to be hit, so that's fine. Let's see. Against creatures, each missile inflicts 1d4 plus 1 point of damage. For every 2 extra levels of experience, the wizard gains an additional missile. You have 2 at 3rd, 3 at 5th, and 4 at 7th. You're a little bit different because you can only cast 2nd level, so you're not going to get any extra, because you just got a 4th, so you're not going to get an extra missile until the next level. So you have basically 5d4 plus 5 for each missile, like for a total of missiles, because it's up to 5. So do you want to spend all 5 of them?
Yeah. So I'll just cast that spell.
So 5d4 plus 5. Okay, so I'm sorry. Talandril, is your weapon magical?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
No, it's just not.
So as you sliced into him, you see his skin immediately close back up. Is your Kopech magical, sirs?
Yeah, the first arrow and the Kopech both. It is. I think it was plus. Sorry, Kopech. Where does it say? I'm not sure where to look. I'm looking at the Kopech bit.
Let me look here.
Sorry, it says number of attacks 3/.
Yeah, you definitely need to keep that in mind. So attack adjustment is 6. Your strength would give you 2. Specialization gives you 3. So it has to be.
Kopech plus 3. It says it right there.
Under
In the special
and
abilities and attacks,
Okay,
Kopech
so it is
plus
magic.
3.
That's fine. All right, so just remember, because you're going to be taking 2 extra attacks at the end of the turn.
Oh, nice.
All right, so Corros, what did you say you were going to do? The magic missile. So did you roll damage?
Not yet. No, I just heard 5d4 plus 5.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna roll it now.
11. So these
11.
5 missiles just blast out from your hand, just smacking into him. He's screaming out. "Ah!" Let's see, is there any saving throw? None. So
Big 16.
it's 11 damage. What did you say about 16?
It's plus 5, right? So it's 1d4 plus.
Oh,
and
I
then
see what you're saying. Yeah. So 16. Yes. Oh my god.
It's a bad day to be you, dwarf.
Yep.
I think I just did plus 16 and that'll do that for me. I'm an idiot. right, so that takes your full turn to cast the magic, and then we go all the way down to him. He immediately burrows into the ground as he's shape changing into an actual badger itself. He's just like, you'll pay, you're all paid. And like literally goes in a tunnel into the ground and sort of disappears away from you guys. And we are out of combat. You see these two elves. I'm just going to move them over here. You see these two elves just sort of, one of them's crying over this body. The other one is just trying to, console this other person, this other elf, as you guys are sort of standing there. What do you do?
I'm going to get up to the group and start talking to them.
What do you say?
They're elves?
Yeah.
I speak to them in tongues. Boy, I know that they lost one in combat, but I just want to make sure everyone else is okay and just gently ask them what brought you. I mean, how did this happen to you?
This gentleman turns and looks at you. Who are you?
I tell him my name. Corros. We just
Corros.
showed up here just out of nowhere. We just came here. Not really know where we're at.
You look a little malformed. Are you an elf?
I am.
Why do you have whiskers? What's wrong with your body type? You're a little different.
I have whiskers.
Are you a full elf? I thought you were a half elf.
I'm half.
Okay, that's why. That's why he's acting this way.
Oh, so he probably thinks I have a beard or a mustache? Is that what's going on here? Or?
Well, no, just because your human heritage is evident in your body type.
Oh, okay.
Half elves look dramatically different than just typical elves do. These elves are sort of gray hair, slender. They look a lot like Sylvanisty elves, but drab. They're like much more gray skin and pale, as if they've had life drained out of them or something like that. So he's sort of like questioningly looking at you like, you don't look quite elven enough to be an elf. Are you ill, sir? And this woman looks up. Are you my real brother? I think so. I'm not entirely certain, my lady. She's like, could you help me carry my husband's remains to our family cairn? He's like, I believe I could, my lady, if we could collect all of the pieces. I'm not sure all the pieces are necessary. Who is this man? And he's like looking down at the corpses, at the corpse of presumably her husband. And he's like, I don't know. He shrugs, and she turns and looks at all of you. Who are they? And he's like, well, this is, I'm not sure. You don't quite look like an elf. Is there something wrong with you?
Just see, just for clarification, they don't recognize the corpse either?
No, not anymore. And Corros clearly just said his name, and this gentleman doesn't seem to remember his name or even remember him at all.
Should we ask them where they came from and where the nearest village, where their village is at? We can help them get there.
My home is. This is the female talking. My home is, Harthalen. Yes, that's it. Harthalen. And you guys feel the ground start to rumble and a rift open down south of you, and trees are uprooted and land over just. And they sort of like look around. What is going on? What is happening to our land? Did you all do this when you...
Let us go to this.
Go to where? Who are you?
Let us go to this Hearth of Lynn while you still remember it.
She turns and looks back at you, and you just hear her scream at the top of her lungs. A monster! It's a monster! Oh, help us! Help us! She like leans over to you, Corros, and grabs him. Help defend us from the beast!
He's a I don't know, not a companion, but he's an ally. He's not here to hurt you.
Very rude.
He's
a
beast,
monster. I
he's
pat
lizard.
Bo on the shoulder. Help take care of that dwarf. changing thing that was causing you problem. Are you
There was a
entirely right
dwarf?
in the mind?
There was a dwarf? You're a human. What do you know of beasts and monsters? Humans are
I
nothing
know
but
more than you simpleton.
scattered-brained monstrosities that wish they were elves. I can't... Whose body is this? She looks at the ground. This other character next to her. I'm not sure, my lady. Should we go home? Where is home? I think it's east of here. Okay. And she sort of steps through the remains of this body and just starts walking, and he sort of looks at you. Hello. It's nice to meet you. What's your name? He's looking at you, Corros.
I give him my name.
Corros, you look strange. Are you not quite all elf? Are you half human?
I'm half. My mom was human.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That is a terrible burden to bear. Humans are such beastly things. Well, have a lovely day. He sort of turns and sees her. Pardon me, miss. Might I accompany you? She's like, I suppose you could. Thank you. And they just both start wandering off to the east. And there's this massive corpse, bloody and pulpy, all at your feet. Something clearly is wrong.
Oh,
They appear to be out.
not a long period of mourning for the husband, I see.
Their brains appear to be addled. Apart from the fact they're quite rude, very uncivilized folk. Is this normal for these? What they say, elves?
Let's hope whatever it is not contagious.
Anyway, waste not
That thing will
whatnot.
be back, I'm
I'm
sure.
gonna have a look at the body.
It is a bloody mess. Those skeletons really did a number just hacking it to pieces.
Kind of sort of sit through the clothing, see if there's anything.
Give me a horror check. So this is going to be a save versus paralyzation.
Okay, right.
Dude, I've never even heard of a horror check before. That sounds
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, realistically,
Frank
you all
Cthulhu,
should
yes.
have done it, but I totally forgot about it while we were doing it.
So, okay. Death roads. Oh.
So it's just a paralyzation save.
Okay, so saving throws, paralyzation. Oh, right, there it is. Right.
So you are just shocked by the
Just
disgust of what you're seeing. Let's look here.
I didn't realize until I knelt down how bad it was. Ugh, disgusting.
All right,
What am I-
so the reaction is aversion. You don't even want to be near it. You're just like,
God. Do you know what? It's if any of you want to see if there's anything valuable in there, I'm not doing well all of a sudden. Sort of step away.
It gets easier.
So are you guys going to do anything else?
Kind of,
We follow
I
them.
fear that that badger may return shortly, and the rifts are still opening in this place, so we should keep moving.
It's probably smart.
Yeah, let's keep moving. I think we should follow. Should we follow?
The
I don't know if
elves?
there's any way for us to track, at least for where the most footprints are going in a certain direction.
I say we follow after the elves.
Do you want to follow them?
Yeah, since no one
Yes.
really
They
has
were
any
going
tracking,
to.
someone with survival or something like that, just give me a survival roll for non-weapon proficiencies. Nice.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much gauge where those two are going. They're not really trying to hide their tracks or anything. They look to be sort of staggering and stumbling in a non-linear path, almost as if they don't really know where they're supposed to be going, but they just know they were in motion, so they are continuing in motion. You see they sort of head toward where your old camp was, and basically you guys are like right over here. And they're heading toward the river. Once they hit the river, they just start heading south of the river, and they eventually end up on the road. Throughout this time, the wind has started to pick up. You're getting all of these nice earthy scents of wet soil and vegetation, the intense smell of decay and just the opened corpse, all the intestines spilling out that had initially sort of horrified you, Talandril, has passed as the breeze is sort of blowing away and sort of giving you a little bit of space to breathe in.
That was unpleasant.
Yeah. Ultimately, if you want to head toward the pathway, you'll get there by nightfall. That seems to be where those other people are headed at a much slower pace. Okay, so your arrows, let me see here. So how many did you roll? 2?
Oh, one magic, one non.
So the magic one you can recover, the non-magic one is broken.
Yeah. All right.
And Corros, did you want to try to recover your arrows?
I do, yes.
How many did you shoot?
There's just 2.
So both of them you can get.
Okay.
Some of the benefit of the softer vegetative floor, they don't bust up as much, sort of sink into the moss, as it were. Also, so I don't know if any of you were counting on the bonuses that the bard gave you. Keep those in mind during combat, and especially if you have more than one attack, make sure you keep those in mind, because that's going to change everything throughout the course of this. It's huge.
See, he didn't actually sing it, so I forgot.
Yeah, you're going to have to give us a tune, man.
Yeah, you can't be a bard and not sing. Sorry, Chris. You just have to... Them's the rules. We don't make them. It's just that's the way it is.
Sing your heart out. Do some Bon Jovi or something. Give some Pantera.
There you go.
Gates.
I definitely do some Pantera, but I'm playing some good music, inspiring music, bring up the spirits up.
I'm singing to make you feel better.
Environment.
One song from sticking a spear in you.
So, are you guys going to camp right off of the road, or are you going to go into the wilderness a little bit more?
I think if we stay inside of the road, but under cover.
Yeah, wherever there's a good amount of cover.
Let's not go that we wake up in the morning and end up completely disoriented. Let's have something in sight.
Yeah. Okay. So you go down, you see the trail, you see this massive bridge that spans the entirety of the river, and you see that those other elves are actively passing it as you guys are sort of setting up camp in the middle of the night. They don't seem to be concerned about the darkness or anything else for that matter. They don't even really seem like they know each other at this point. They're just sort of wandering and sort of not even talking. You guys get to that road, you get to that bridge, and you sort of back up a little bit, staying inside of it and set up your camp. You guys can rememorize your spells. Ashley, we were looking at your character sheet while you were gone, and it didn't look like you had any of your spells memorized. Just make sure you put down what spells you have memorized every day. And your character sheet should tell you how many spells per each level you can memorize. If you have that somewhere else, just make sure to note it on this sheet.
Okay.
You didn't cast any spells during this, but for you, Corros, you cast Magic Missile, so if you want to rememorize that or memorize a different spell, now's the time to do it. Let me see about evening. So evening is pretty uneventful, uninterrupted. You guys, I assume, would set up some sort of watch, but nothing happened. The morning comes, and you see crows circling overhead. There's a caw, caw, Lord, Lord, just flying around, and as soon as any of you make any motion to move, they sort of fly off into the distance. The river is just sort of rushing by you. The coldness from the river sort of leaking up. You still, every once in a while, feeling rumbles of the land as it's being torn apart slowly but surely. You're starting to kind of get used to the rhythm, but the frantic pace of the event should be adding a little bit of anxiety on top of this already strange new land that you found yourselves in. So what are you guys thinking right now? What's going through your heads?
I think first opportunity sirs would start questioning the others to see if any of them has any recollection or familiarity to this place. Perhaps they've come from another land, at least of this realm, or he's pretty sure this is not his realm. Yeah. But he's going to try to figure out, you know.
Go ahead and ask whoever you're going to ask. Let's role play.
Yes. You all, is this place as unfamiliar to you as it is to me?
Very strange.
I'm afraid so, my good chap. This is not where I left. I'm from a land called Krynn. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Yes.
Yeah, these rips are very unsettling, to say the least.
Do you think there's any truth to the madman's ravings of treants being responsible?
Well, first of all, I don't know what a treant is, so it could be true, could not. He was completely left his mind. These elves don't seem to be very stable in this. They got grippy mates, completely lost their memory. My friends, how are you feeling? Corros, I believe, yes. How are you feeling? Is this land affecting you in any way?
It's just familiarity. This is completely new to me. Just seeing what's going on here from what I was doing, it seems that stopped and put me here, but it's reality. It definitely feels everything's different. Everything. This wasn't what I was doing not long ago. I mean,
What is it that you were doing?
I was playing in front of I was hired by a royalty to entertain their guests. So I was playing and having a good time, getting the crowd all warmed up, getting them all excited and having some fun. Next thing you know, I'm here.
Were any of you engaging in any foul magic or anything of the sort?
Not this week. I tend to stay away from that. That's bad for your health, that magical business.
Well, it would seem these are...
I'm curious as to why there was a dwarf hanging out with skeletons.
Yeah, I mean, you guys remember him mentioning
Yes.
Lord Soth, saying that Lord Soth, he's too busy to tend to these matters, and he was trying to find out where this ghost was that he was convinced that female elf knew about. He was looking for a ghost with a crooked smile. And it clearly seemed like he was controlling those skeletons.
I don't think that strange chap was strictly a dwarf. How many dwarfs do you know transform into badgers?
Not many.
Yes, good point. Do any of you know anything about this Lord Soth character?
Not a clue.
So
Never met the chap myself.
give me a wisdom check, all of you, because you are all from the same planet and continent, Krynn. Lord Soth was involved in the War of the Lance, which has just recently ended, and so some of you may know about him. So not sirs. Can you change your character's name? Because it's saying Bo, or is it already changed?
It wouldn't let me change the token for some reason. I did change it.
Oh, I see
in
it.
the,
I see it. Yeah.
but it still says that for some reason.
Oh, hang on, Soth? Soth,
Yeah,
you
Lord
say?
Soth.
Was that
Same
strange
fact,
fellow?
not allow me to roll it. I click on the wisdom die.
Just roll a d20 in it then, and just get under the wisdom, or try to get under the wisdom. Okay, so,
I got under it.
okay. So yeah, everyone but Bo's character, even though you did work for the Dragon Army at the time, you were focused on your unit and not so much Lord Soth. So Lord Soth is a tale, a fable, and the Bard would definitely know this old chestnut. He was a knight of Solamnia who was given an opportunity, supposedly, to save the world from the cataclysm that wrecked the world 370 years prior to this moment, and he failed. And so this massive mountain crashed into the continent. It completely changed everything. For the next 350 years, famine, disease spread everywhere. Everyone turned against the Knights of Calamity because of it. But it was rumored that Lord Soth was cursed by the divine god Paladine because of his choice not to stop the cataclysm, and turned him into a death knight. So this is an immensely powerful being that is undead and beyond the scope of anything any of you can really fathom as far as power comes. But that's why it's also considered a fable, because how could this possibly be a real thing, up until the point where he literally led a undead war with the ex-dragon army leader Kitiara Uthmatar into Palanthas and completely overran the Knights of Slamnia there, and almost took the entire city down before Kitiara was murdered and he took her body back to his keep in Nightland. So this is all a tale that most of you are familiar with, and just hearing the word Lord Soth sort of sends a little bit of shivers down your back, but it's been a long time since the war, and it's been a long time since you've heard of Lord Soth, and that was on Krynn. So what the hell is he doing here, and how the hell did you get here, and what does he have to do? If he's been hidden away for months, how long has he been in this land? Does he control this land according to that first elf you met? I mean, a lot of questions should be coming up in your minds.
My main question is, how is this involving us?
Yeah.
I don't recall fighting for any army. That's not my style.
Yep.
I would like to know why we are here as well.
As do I. Something brought us here together.
Were we brought here, or is it?
Well, the rift says we've witnessed them.
circumstance?
Yes, I would say the rifts seem quite random. I believe it may be wrong place, wrong time.
Well, at least thankfully we found each other. I think this would be a difficult trip alone, so well met, folks. At any rate.
So what's your plan here? What are your immediate goals right now as a group?
Need to
We
find
should-
some sort of civilization.
Yeah. So, let's say you find civilization, what are you going to be looking for once you get there? Are you looking for a way out of this territory? Are you looking to figure out what's going on? Like, what's your motivation here?
Figure out what's going on.
I would like to disprove the idea that Lord Soth is truly here.
Yeah.
On a personal note, I think Circe is kind of a soldier without an army at this point, and he might not be overly keen on trying to find a way to return home, because return to what? You know what I mean? So he might be more interested in, I think, investigating this world to see what it's about and what's going on here. If someone did pull us here on purpose, targeting us, why, and that sort of thing. But
Yeah. Okay.
as far as
I,
getting
for
back,
one, had a very filled life. Right up until the very moment I arrived, I was having a great time. I would kind of like to go back to that. But obviously, if opportunity presents itself here, I'll make best use of the situation. But what we need to do is find somebody who's preferably not trying to stab us. That's quite inconvenient. So if we can find some form of civilization where at least we can listen in, and if there's maybe I don't know, organized travel as opposed to this random chaos back between these worlds, I would like to go that way, wherever that may be.
yeah, I guess getting outside of this rift area, hopefully it's an area, not the whole world, right?
Yeah, that would be
escaping that is probably
rather
should be our
distressing.
first order of business. Yeah.
Okay, so morning is here. You actually, you saw those crows sort of seeing if you were living or dead. Once you moved around and proved you were living, they flew off. The rushing river, you can feel free to get back to the road and follow the road now if you'd like.
Roads sounds good because roads are built by civilized people, and civilized people tend to make roads go to civilized places.
Yeah. So the
Yeah,
plan is
hopefully we
to...
can find our bearings.
Okay. So cross the river and head down the road? that it?
Yes.
Yes, let's go.
Okay.
So, obviously, take my boots off, roll up in the popular use, don't want to
I'm just
be
gonna
squelching about the place.
do my best to open up the map as you're traveling here.
I'm still on the other map.
Oh, did I not change it over?
Was there a long rest
Yeah,
button that we should
You'll
click
see
or
the,
something?
like,
No, there's
Baffle
nothing
roll.
like that. You just every night you naturally gain 1 hit point back if you lose it, just from a full rest, and that's kind of as
Alright.
good as it gets in second
Oh
edition.
wow!
You
Okay.
need healing in order to do anything faster. Someone with
Nice.
healing skill
That's cool,
can
man. I
bump
like it.
that up to 3 hit points per day, but it's pretty harsh.
Adam, could you put a question mark after the heroes? I think that'd be more appropriate right now, and then maybe we can work towards having a question mark taken off.
All right. That's totally fair.
Because at the moment we're more sort of confused, bumbling, random people.
Yeah. So you've been traveling the road all day. You actually, in the mid part of the day, I need a dexterity check as a rift opens up, breaking through the road itself. So go ahead and have everyone give me a dexterity check, please.
Whoa, that was close. I'm getting paranoid now. What's that about? 2 or 3 good rolls or
Oh
Fail!
Ashley.
I get swept up into the abyss.
Corros, did you go?
you should really stop sticking your head down random portals.
Crashed out. Hang on, let me bring it back up.
Right.
Yeah, it just bellied up on me. Please hold.
No problem. So you take 2 points of damage as you're sort of crushed to the ground by some trees that have fallen down and caught you underneath them. Wasn't under the stump though, so that's that's not terrible.
Alright, I'm gonna roll my check here now.
Squashed again.
Oops, she squashed again.
I sort of walk over. You really should watch out for these things. They're quite big and they could hurt. Are you okay down there?
You know, as a barbarian, you'd think that I'd be a little bit more wily when it comes to these trees falling on me.
Like, look at the size of them. You know, it's a good idea to step out of the way. Just, I'm not experienced, obviously, as you in these adventure type things, but you know, just from what I've seen so far, it's a good idea to step out either left or right.
I just
So-
had to restart the app.
Thank you, Talandril.
In the
Yeah.
far distance, you all do see what seems to be a semblance of some form of town, but again, it's like 5 miles away. So you guys are going to have to, camp for the night, and then the next morning you guys can go out again and travel more. If you continue traveling past the regular full day, you're going to end up, being encumbered and slow down and, less effective at everything. So are you guys okay? Are you going to do like a camp off the road like you did last time?
Sounds good because we
Yeah.
don't want to just run around the town as well. We want to kind of
Yeah.
be nice and rested and have a little peek.
Okay. So who are you guys doing any watches?
Yeah, definitely.
I stretch it. You 3 seem
So,
quite capable. Do you know how this watch thing works? Shoot.
I'll take first watch.
How this watch thing works? I'm pretty tired, so I'm gonna head to
Yeah,
bed.
it's just if you sort that out amongst yourselves, I'll be thinking about you.
Okay. So who's taking first watch?
I am.
All right. So the first watch goes pretty well. It's quiet. You actually notice that the sky is, for the very first time, completely uncloudy and clear. It's actually a lot colder because of that. But you're looking up at the constellations, and you know that they're, at least where you're coming from, you had 3 different moons, but you could only see 2 of them. You don't see any moons at all. You do see some very familiar constellations, but the constellation for the Dark Queen is infinitely brighter than any of the other constellations, and the constellation for the Great Warrior, Paladine, is completely absent in structure at all. But all the other gods' constellations are present, they're just very dim. So the sky just seems familiar, but also completely alien to you as you're sort of staring up the sky and listening to the howling of wolves in the distance and sort of skittering of creatures in the brush. You hear these hooting of owls. It's creating this sort of eerie sort of atmosphere. You got the branches rustling with the hooting owls and such. But then it's time for you to wake up
What were these whispers?
Sirs. Ambience. So do you wake up Sirs for his watch?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Sirs, you're woken up. You ready for your watch?
Mm-hmm.
So you're experiencing the same things. You're actually very, very used to sleeping out in swamps and mountains and, without any luxuries like a bedroll or a canvas tent or anything. So you really don't mind being immersed in nature, and it's almost familiar to you, only in as much as it is a natural surrounding. But then the howling of the wolves starts to get louder. And just with your experience, you're starting to hear them get much closer than you're comfortable with. You can start to hear them in the underbrush around camp, though you can't see any of them as of yet.
I could move and quietly, wake the others, whoever's closest first.
Okay. Who would you wake up first?
So yeah, imagine, first watch guy I feel like would be really close. Is it Corrin?
Corros?
Or Corros? Corros, yes. Corros, I hear.
Wake up.
Wolves.
What's going on?
Wolves approach.
All right. Can I use detect noise and see if I can get in an area where they may be coming from?
Well, as you just sort of quiet yourself and you stop moving, you can hear them. It sounds like you guys are surrounded.
All right. Let's wake the group up.
Do I wake up from the noise of the howling, or no?
No, because you were hearing that all night in the distance. As it got closer and closer, you were sleeping. If you want to give me let's say a wisdom check -3, and see if you can do it. See if it wakes you.
Am I rolling that or?
No,
I'm already awake.
Viruna is. Yeah, you're awake.
A failure!
Wow.
You're
A natural
snoring
20
dragon.
and you're a failure.
I know.
Got a kick in the head. So, yeah, you're just sawing logs. You're just deep in sleep. As you guys move to wake up your companions, I need you to roll a d10 for surprise as wolves bust out of the foliage. So the way surprise works is if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, you're surprised out of a d10. If you have a reaction modifier for your dexterity, you can use that to help stave off that surprise.
Where's that at for surprise rolls?
So under your
Actually, I saw a surprise button earlier. I don't know where it went.
So I'm trying to.
under your attributes, you'll see reaction adjustment up next to dexterity. So character sheet, attributes, dexterity. If you have a reaction adjustment, it'll be listed there, and if not, then you don't. But just roll a d10. There's a die roller in the sidebar.
Okay.
And I am going to load up this while you're all doing that.
Dun.
I rolled a 4.
Well, I'm busy snoozing.
So you're definitely surprised.
And you said reaction adjustment, right? So +1.
It's a +1? Okay, so you have a 1 or 2, and you're going to be surprised on a 1 or 2 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 5.
A 5, so yeah, you're not surprised. Okay, so you get a react on initiative. You're going to be sort of shocked for this round. Connor, where's your character? Where the heck is your character? What the hell? Hold on a second. I need to grab your character.
I'm still seeing the heroes ? Screen.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm trying to set this up as a random encounter here. So
Oh,
we
no.
have Chris's character, Bo's character, Viruna, and Talandril. Okay, so we got him. All right, now I got to find the wolf. Where are you?
There's a puppy. Oh wait, I'm not playing me. I'm playing someone that doesn't go pet things with fangs.
All right, so I just got to change these numbers so I can add them to initiative tracking. Oh my gosh. Give me a break.
Pleasant dream for me and Talandril.
That'd just be funny if that's a counter, but you kind of wake up.
So it's
I just they're bloody battered. Like he's okay.
So we got 1, 6, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. All right, so there's 6 wolves that come out of the foliage. Just ignore these guys; they're not here. 6 wolves sort of surround you, jump out on their initiative. So because you're not surprised, sir, let me tell me what you want to do.
I think it ready as Kopesh and shrink, as it runs out, I suppose. Mostly if
So you
there's
wanna
any
attack?
movement
Which one are you
involved.
going to be targeting?
This one above, I think, up here.
Okay, right on the ridge
I try to
there.
move to protect the sleeping ones, I guess, if possible. Yeah, and kind of intercept so that it doesn't eat them.
Okay, give me 1 second while I add in initiatives here.
Protect the sleeping ones.
They're having nice dreams. Don't disturb us, please.
Or actually, if it's not too late to change what I just said, I would rather actually defend against both these wolves on the west, I guess, over here. So I guess maybe
What do you mean defend?
that way.
Like I just need you.
I was thinking like intercept. I mean, like move such to fight them so that they don't go to the sleeping people. I guess like try to engage them in melee so that they
Well, you can only attack
attack
one
me rather
creature
than the
at a
sleeping
time because they're separate. They're far apart. So I would need you to tell me which
Okay.
one you're targeting.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, this one in the middle then. This one. I'll move to here.
Okay. So go ahead
Sorry.
and select yourself and roll initiative with your weapon modifier. And then at the end of this round, Corros, you can roll initiative after you tell me what you want to do.
Okay.
Woof. So remember the amount of attacks you get. You can do 1 on your turn. At the end of the round, you'll do any extra attacks that you have. So let me ascending order. And who's the last one? That was a 3. Why is that showing as a 0?
My initiative seemed like it's super high, huh?
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know why it takes that long for the Kopech. It doesn't seem like it should. What's the speed on it? The weapon speed?
It is a speed 9.
Oh, that's high. That's really high. I wonder why it takes that long.
Oh yeah, meaning slow, huh?
Kopech, yeah, you must be.
Yeah.
Really
In the description of it, it does say it's it says it's heavy and ill balanced. I think in the description of it, something like
that
that.
explains it. All right. Okay, so this first wolf charges in at a very surprised Corros and attacks. Let's see.
An AC of 3.
So it comes in, it bites you,
Oh.
just latches on you, just like rearing up. It's got this little mohawk of hair like standing up on edge, and it's just growling loud at you. Let me see, where's damage? This doggone thing. There it is. So you take 5 damage from this bite. That's max damage, too. He's just growling at you and sinking his teeth into you. This one comes up from the south and just charges up at you. Sirs, what's your armor class is...
A -1.
So, you got, that's going to be a 6. So 8, 6, 9.
Excuse me.
Wait, what? So he completely comes up at you, and you just sort of bash him off with your shield. Do you have a shield? I know the token does, but I don't know if you
Yeah.
do. Okay.
Yeah,
So it comes up and
yeah, medium.
you just bash off with the shield, the medium shield on him. This one's running up to the sleeping Talandril and just starts attacking him. What's your armor class is 10 normally, without your dex modifier. What's your armor class? What's your dex modifier for your armor class?
Dex modifier? Oh, I don't have a dex modifier.
Isn't dex your thing?
The dexterity is 14. There's nothing under
Defense adjustment, right?
defense reaction adjustment.
Okay.
Or defense adjustment 0.
Okay. So let's see. So it actually misses. It goes in
I
to where
I just kick out in the sleep.
your bedroll. He's like
No, I
wrapped up,
turn
and
over.
it grabs a
That's what I do.
piece of it.
I just turn over. I'm on a group train. It's like, and
It grabs
Slips.
whatever your bedroll is, the blanket or something. You just feel it yanked as it starts to like yank you awake. Give me a wisdom saving throw to see if you wake up or not. As it's like shaking your bedroll.
I want to sleep right through this. This will be so funny.
Oh no, it woke you up. You're like, what is going on? And you see this rabid, insanely angry wolf right biting your bedroll here. All right, so the next one on top is leaping down. It's going to attack Corros, and it has flank on you. Your armor class is 3, 4, 5 now, so that's 13. It's got a hitch. It misses you for whatever reason. You're able to like move aside just out of your shock of what's happening. This next one here leaps down towards a sleeping Viruna, and Varuna's armor class is 4, 3, 2. Do you have a dexterity bonus, Viruna?
If the sleeping character is legit,
I
across
have
the wheels, this will be hilarious.
magical defense. How do I figure out my dexterity bonus if I have one?
So on your attributes tab, where it shows dexterity, there should be a defense adjustment number. It may be 0. I just don't know.
0.
Okay. So let's see. Usually people don't sleep in their armor, but I'm not gonna argue the point. It like reaches down and grabs your bedroll and starts shaking it. Give me a wisdom check to see if you wake up. Oh yeah, you wake up and you to this rabid wolf tearing at your bedroll. This other wolf comes down at you and attacks.
How does that work? I failed.
So it
The
comes
roll.
up. You failed. Oh yeah, success. So you are still asleep.
So I'm still asleep, yeah?
Yeah, like no
I'm
matter what.
still
You're like,
Class.
this other wolf comes up, clamps its teeth on you, and you are
Trying to
now
fight with the
awake.
covers.
As the wolf is actively ripping at your skin, you have to take 4 damage. So with your guys' characters, go ahead and do like a -4 or something on your hit points, so I can see what they're. Like I see Corros is 16 out of 21. So every time you guys take damage, so you haven't
Yeah.
healed from that fall yet, and I think you took 2 damage from that. So make sure you guys are marking that down on your character sheets.
And I'm taking 4 damage right now because I'm getting chomped.
No, that was Talandril that took the 4 damage.
Oh, okay.
I took damage off.
Yeah, you have 2 wolves on you right now.
That's not very nice.
No, it's not. 2, 3, 4. He already went. All right, so what are you going to do, Chris, now that you are no longer surprised? What's your plan? You got 2 wolves, 1 at your flank, 1 in front of you.
I'm going to color spray.
Okay, so you're going to cast a spell. What's the time, the spell casting time on that?
Yes, I do. Let me get to that screen. 1.
Okay, so just roll a d10 and add a 1 to it
Okay,
for your initiative.
got it. Rolling it. 9.
Okay, so I'm going to add you 9. And then Viruna, you woke up and you got your wits about you. Actually, give me a surprise check, both Viruna and Talandril, since you guys were woken by these wolves. And let's see if you can get your wits about
Listen.
you.
Guessing the.
So it's a D10.
Oh, just the game.
A 1, 2, or 3, and you're surprised. So Ashley, you're about. You got your heads on your shoulders. You're good.
Excellent. Okay.
Where did it
Colin
bite
got a
me?
5, and you got your wits about you too. Okay, so Viruna, what are you going to do? You're currently in your bedroll. You got a wolf tearing at it, trying to get to you. What's your plan?
My plan is to get up out of my bedroll and bash this wolf with my blade.
Okay. Make sure you guys are facing your tokens when you're on your turn, when you decide to do whatever you're going to do. Okay, so I need you to give me an initiative with your weapon. Weapon speed modifier attached.
You said the initiative first?
Yeah, I need initiative. Do you know how to do that with your character sheet?
Yes. I do not know what the modifier is, though. I don't know if I had
Well,
one.
it should be
for the-
attached on it already. So if you go to your, I'm just opening your character sheet right now. If you go to your weapons tab, melee tab, and just click that hit. Oh, I'm sorry, no, we're initiative right there at the very end for whatever weapon you're using. And it should, yep, there you go.
Got it. Yeah, it was the 2 is the attack adjustment for the crit blade.
Yeah, I'm just showing the speed is 4. It's total. So once you hit initiative, it rolled it in the chat and added you to initiative automatically. So what are you planning on doing, Talandril?
Which wolf has my blanket?
This one has your blanket. This one bit you.
All right. So I suppose better deal with the one that bit me first. So I'll.
Yes, the west one bit you. The southwest has your blanket.
All right. Okay. Obviously, I want my blanket back, but at the same time, I'm not gonna tolerate being bit. That was sore.
Right.
So I'll stab it with my dagger.
Okay, so just give me an initiative with your dagger speed modifier. This is not the attack yet, just the initiative.
Yeah. That one.
Okay, it added you. I'm going to resort this. We're back at the top of the round. This wolf attacks you, Corros. Your armor class is 3. 15 is a 15 to hit you, and it misses as it lunges. Just you sort of back off and use your blade to sort of push its claws back. Yeah, I hope that's temporary too. Next, this wolf is attacking you, sirs. Your armor class is -1. It's gonna be hard to hit you. And it comes in, you easily block it off with your Kopech. Next, this one is
I never did attack. Was I supposed to attack last round?
yeah. Let's resolve that real quick. So go ahead and give me 3 attacks. Because you were not surprised.
And the same one I had declared, right? Let's go to this guy here.
Well, if you're moving away from the one that you were it was attacking you, then it's going to be able to attack you again.
Oh, do I need to? Oh, because I had declared this as the one I was going to attack. But could I instead attack this one since?
Yeah, just
me?
because he's right on you. Because your plan was to move to that one and attack, but this one came up on you, so you can just divert that spin onto him.
Okay. Oh, nice. All right. Here it comes.
I see where it's coming from. You declare something, you have to follow through. Remember you said that at the start, so.
Right. So you were planning on moving. It came up and it actually tried to attack you. You deflected some of it. You came down. You slash at it. You cut into it. So give me damage for that. 17. Okay, so you cut this one down and it is dead. You would have 2 extra attacks, but because you spent your whole turn instead of moving to attack the one and just defending yourself here, those other 2 attacks, there's nothing next to you to use right now, unless one moves in on you. So you can move
Sure.
again if you want, because you didn't move for
Oh, no?
half your turn. So if you-
Okay, yeah, to here.
okay, so if you move there, this one will be able to attack you since you moved in and out of its range.
Oh,
If you stay right here,
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So if I stay here.
yeah, then you wouldn't be attacked by it.
Oh,
So you
okay.
move here. At the end of the initiative order, well, go ahead and give me one more attack just because. You have 3 attacks and, you might as well. This is the end of last round anyway, so.
Dang, what the heck?
Rolled it, give me damage. Anytime you roll something insane like that, just go ahead and give me damage.
All right.
So you just move back behind this one and literally hack it right in half. It just drops down with a whimper and just bleeds out onto the ground. These other ones are just howling. This one's attacking the back of you, Corros. It misses. Next up is the one right in front of you, Talandril, which was you were attacking. Your armor class is 10. It cuts into you. You take 3 damage. It's like biting at your arm, and you're like pushing it off. And just the teeth sort of glance off. A little bit of blood splatters down. Tal, it's your turn.
Right, I'm not too happy, so I'm going to stab that thing.
Yeah.
Now I have to go back. Now I have to flip back to my other sheet. Right. So I just rolled a hit this time, not the other.
Yeah, roll to hit. Because you had already
Boink.
planned on hitting
Yeah.
for this turn, so.
Is that a?
Can't believe how strong Sirs is. It's just unbelievable. So a 4 armor class, that does hit. Yeah.
Alright.
You cut into him,
Sweet.
piercing. It's just damage. 3 damage.
No. Well, it's only a dagger anyway, so.
Yeah. Still, you cut into it. Yipes sort of moves to the side. The next one that's kitty corner to you is going to attack. Oof. It hits. You take 3 damage as it bites onto your leg, just sort of tries to tear at you. You're like pulling your leg back out of its mouth. All right, Corros, you are up. So you were not hit. So you were planning on casting a spell. So if you move, then that spell fizzles. So you have to follow through with the spell that you were planning.
Sorry, I'm trying to talk to you on mute. If I turned and used...
You can't move at all. Like casting,
Really?
you have to do specific somatic motions, pull out specific components. I mean, it takes your entire turn just to focus and do this one thing. You can't do anything else.
All right. I should have read the spell before I casted it, but okay.
So
I'll
what does
go
it
ahead. It just upon casting the spell, the wizard causes a vivid fan-shaped spray of clashing colors to spring forth from his hand. From 1 to 6 creatures, 1d6 within the area affected in order of increasing distance from the wizard. All creatures above the level of the spellcaster on all of those of 6 level or 6 hit dice or more are entitled to a saving throw.
So what
Blind or-
happens?
Creatures not allowed or failing saving throws, and whose hit dice are levels or less than equal to the spellcaster's levels are struck unconscious for 2d4 rounds. Those with hit dice of levels 1 or 2 greater than the wizard's level are blinded for 1d4 rounds. Those with hit dice of 3 levels or greater more than the spellcasters are stunned.
So the 5x20 wedge would go out from in front of you, so it'd only get that one wolf.
Yeah.
He gets a saving throw versus spell. And his saving throw is no magic resistance. do you even know what the damn saving throw is for a wolf? It doesn't even show it in here.
Doesn't have a spell save for wolves, huh?
Well, I'm sure there has to be like a. It's just special defense is +1 versus charm, but this isn't charm. But I don't know. It doesn't show me what the actual save number would be. Usually that's part of the. Wow. Okay. So you blind it for how many turns?
1d4 rounds.
You want to roll a d4?
Sure. Three.
3. So I'm going to use this little symbol as a marker so that that one is blind for 3 rounds. That means it has a -4 to hit you. Okay. Or attack anyone for that matter. All right. So that was your turn. Viruna, you're up. You see that? You can't move. Don't move your character. That was your full turn just to cast the spell and focus and expend the energy. So Viruna, what do you got?
Okay, so I was going to attack that wolf that was demolished. So does that matter if I change?
So you do have one
my attack?
right next to you. So yeah, you
Yeah.
can just follow through with that swing and just redirect it toward the other one that's right next to you.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to hit him with my crook blade. So I did the initiative, so now I just do the old roll here.
Roll to hit, yeah. So you definitely hit.
Oh,
Bash
okay.
into it with your crooked blade cutting. You hear this yelp out as it sort of tries to back off away from you. How much damage?
How do I discover the amount
So
of damage?
below the 2 hit table should be a damage table.
Oh, you might need to add your weapons if you haven't, because I would do that. 'Cause I forgot.
I have them, but do I do the 1d8 first?
There should be a little dice symbol right next to it.
Do I do the small, medium,
Yes.
or the large?
I think it says
Small, medium.
Sorry, do I hit the critical one or
No,
the regular
no,
dice?
regular.
No. Okay.
6 damage. Wow.
6.
You hack into this thing, is yelping. All right, sirs, what are you going to do?
I guess try to
Jeez.
cleave through these two here.
Poor wolves. They just wanted a snack. All right.
So
So you have flanks, so you get a +2 to hit.
And
I don't think you need it.
pleasantly snoozing.
Try to sleep. You hit it. Give me damage. Oh my gosh. 20 damage. You hack
damage is
this
insane.
thing in two. It just drops down. Its spine is all opened up. Just as it bleeds to death. All right. You have 2 more attacks, so those will be at the end of the round. Oh, you are at the end of the round because you had a huge initiative. So go ahead and give me the other 2 attacks.
Oh, right.
So you have 1 creature that's in front of you that you could attack.
All right.
Watch my blanket. Don't get blood in the blanket. I want that.
Yeah, I think that's too late. That has sailed. You cut this thing down. It also yells out. All right, back at the top of the round. These
Now you
other
have 2
2
blankets.
wolves. This one's blind. He's going to do his best to run away. Corros, you get an opportunity attack if you have a melee weapon that you can smack him with.
My attack? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, if you have a melee weapon, you can hit him. Or try to hit him.
Sure. I've got a long sword, so I'll go ahead and take a stab at him here. For that, still getting used to this. All right, see what I get here. Oh,
Yeah, you hit. Damage.
that'll leave a mark. Was it 1d8 for a longsword?
It's not on your character sheet?
It is, but it's not coming up for some reason. I don't know.
Let me look here. Swords, long sword is 1d8, yes.
All right. Good old longsword. All right, roll damage. Ooh. Take that
Wow,
too.
max damage. Nice.
Bam, bam.
So you cut into the back of him. He's yelping out. his tail's like tucked down under his body as he's running away. These things have a insane speed, so it just completely runs up off the map away from you. This one tucks its tail and runs up the hill, terrified and running away. Viruna, you get an opportunity attack as it runs away. Chris, you only get one of those when it happens. So Viruna, do you want to roll to hit?
Oh, the wolf that's fleeing?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I will let it retreat.
Very nice of you. All right, that is the end of combat. And it's still, the second half of the middle of the night. And let's all take a break because it's been over 2 hours. So we'll take a short drink, pee break, and we will be back here shortly. Thank you all so much for tuning in to this second edition game. We'll be back in a moment. That's not the right button. There we go. All right, here we go. We are back, everyone. Licking our wounds. Now, that did interrupt your full night of sleep, so you will not get your 1 hit point back unless you sleep in. Do you guys want to sleep in and get your hit point back? We do have a cleric that can heal, but that means we have to camp out longer to get her to rememorize healing spells and stuff.
That's the first option.
Well, the first
How
option
do
would...
how do I tell what everyone's like HP is at? Because I can't see that.
Right. I mean, other than them just telling you, how much they're missing, there's no real way unless we're in a combat encounter.
I think a good way would be we ask each other after every encounter before blundering into the next bit. That doesn't tend to end well.
Yeah, who needs healing?
So you're camping right now, so what do you guys want to do?
Well, I kind of should. I heard that I ruined my jacket, but more importantly,
That's canon. So I took only 21 hit points, so
Whoa! So you definitely need to be healed,
What?
I
right?
took 6. Well, I took 6 damage. 21. So
Okay, Corros, I'm gonna do some.
do a wee bit of triage.
die in this game at all? Is that part of the second edition, or
Of what?
Is it what?
spend hit die to heal?
No.
No, it's not.
No, this is old school, man. The only
guess
way
it
you
has to
heal
start
is
at
bed
second
rest.
Has it? Okay.
It's either bed rest or someone actively uses a spell on you. Like, that's it.
So I think I need to do
Well,
some cure critical wounds.
Now, just keep in mind that any spell you cast, you will no longer have memorized. And so in order to rememorize it, you'll have to spend like 8 to 12 hours of rest doing nothing else, just so you can reconvene and pray with your god and get your spell back. So it'll have to be another camp out session. So you definitely heal anything you want, but...
However, if we camp out again, we might attract more wolves, especially if there's blood drain in this area, so the scent of blood. So
Yeah.
how about we get ourselves patched up, especially Corros, he seems to be a bit of a bad way. And then let's go have a look at this village. Couldn't be any worse than this.
On the bright side, we've got something good to eat now. And he'll just bite into one of the bowls.
You're not going to cook that first?
He's a
His dog.
lizard.
Mm.
I don't know, dude. Should we expend spells to heal and just get heading in the direction where we need to go to get into town?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If I get you healed up, you seem to be damaged the most. So,
That might be you. I'm okay.
Is it
Yeah,
still the
yeah.
middle of the night? Is that right?
Yes.
I say we heal up and then rest until morning.
You want to rest in town?
Well, I suppose here
You wanna
amidst the
heal-
wolf carcasses.
what do you like for hit points? So I'm down to 17, so I'm not massively... I'm more inconvenienced than like in trouble.
I'm at 16 out of 21. How's Spider doing?
That's you. Sex.
There we go.
Sirs didn't get hit.
Shut up!
No, he's fine.
Let's skedaddle then.
All right, you want to do that? Okay. Let's back
So
up.
are you guys going to continue
All right,
sleeping, or are you just going to move on?
Let's move on.
Okay, so if you're moving through the night because you didn't get a full night's rest, you're going to be exhausted.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You already traveled you traveled like 25 miles yesterday,
Okay.
and so you're camping out to sort of regain your energies, rememorize your spells, and you're interrupted by the wolves.
Finish our rest then head out so we don't get exhaustion.
Yeah, so that's...
Yeah.
you want to use a spell slot? Who do you want? If nobody else wants healed, I wouldn't mind.
Well, that's not going to help your exhaustion though. So you can be healed
No.
though.
Yeah, we'll get 1 hit point back. I'd kind of like more than that.
You'll only get the 1 hit point if you sleep into the morning.
Yeah, so I'd like to get healed. If you're not going to take it, the kind offer of the healer, I'll
Okay.
take it. And I'll get a hit point back as well from having a sleep.
Is Viruna able to do like a group party heal? You know, like
No,
Can I get a
it's really just
sweat lodge? Can I get a sweat lodge?
individual spells
Not
for
that
individual
cool
people.
cleric yet.
okay. Talandril,
It hurts.
let me heal. What ails you, my friend?
Lay thy hands upon
So
me,
what
O
spell
healer.
are you using?
So,
Me-
do you want to
Flounder.
do a cure? What's that? Cure light wound?
Yeah, for him.
Is that right? So,
You're a
Do I
light wound. This
roll?
hurts.
So, Cure Light Wounds. When casting the spell and laying your hand upon a creature, the priest causes 1d8 points of wounds or other injury damage to the creature's body to be healed. So roll a d8.
yeah.
And that means that you don't have it memorized. So make sure you have a list of your memorized spells and that you're checking them off when you're using them.
Until, you said 8 hours of solid rest.
Yeah. So if you guys are going to be spending, like, sleeping into the morning to get to your, 8 hours, then you can get that spell back. If not, then you won't.
Because I think we'll bank up the fire before going back to sleep to maybe discourage any predators.
So I rolled a 2. How do I
So
figure
you
out
get
what
2 hit points.
There you are, Talandril.
I mean, it's a first level spell. It's not.
Yeah.
Well,
May Mishakal bless you.
thank you. Thank you kindly.
Just lick your hand and smack him on the forehead. You heal!
Vinegar and brown paper.
Yeah, so this should be a wake-up call for 2nd edition. We have to act in unison. We have to work together because healing is hard. There's no forgiveness here. You can't just take a short rest and boost yourself up. Like, this is really dangerous territory that we're getting into. And those were just a random encounter of wolves. So it just gets worse from here. So always keep in mind, what spells, when you should tactically use them, when you should keep your damage on you, when you should try to heal it and stuff. So you guys sleep well into the morning. You didn't have any other further random encounters, but the earth has been rumbling every so often. And as you wake up, the campfire itself is ripped and falling into a rift that opens up in the middle of your camp. The ground sort of continues trembling.
Oh, right, okay. Time to move, folks.
Scramble back.
Oh dear.
Worst alarm ever.
Did we gain one?
Yeah, you
Hit
get
point
one
back
hit point
from
from the night.
Yes.
That's
Congratulations.
we're taking that.
Hey man, take it.
All
Looks
right.
like it's about time for us to get out of here. Camp is falling apart.
So you head off to the city here. So as you approach, the city walls have collapsed. There's mist-filled chasms all around the outside of this city. Most of the population is just completely scattered and hiding inside of their homes. Let me show you a picture of kind of what you're looking at here. Just gotta find the right one real quick. There's so many images to choose from. And of course you can't see it because of the stupid light.
I see. Oh, let's go.
Hold on. We'll get here.
What part of America has all the sinkholes?
Florida?
Is that
Anywhere
where
near
we're,
the coast?
so is that what we've landed
New
before?
England?
So this is kind of the vision you're looking at. The entire town is populated solely by elves. The roads are completely decimated by these rifts that are just tearing into this village, this town. Let me show everyone else watching it. It's just a dismal, bitter place. You see fires breaking out randomly throughout the town as people run to put them out due to these massive rifts that are opening up. You see, again, only elves, and as soon as this mother is sort of clutching her daughter near the entrance of the city, and she sees all of you, and she starts screaming at the top of her lungs because there's a monster in your midst. There's a big lizard creature. She's like, "Call the city gods! There's a monster! Kill the monster!" And she runs away. The kid is just crying in her arms. What do you guys do?
Well, I say, try to come up and ask some elf a question here.
See an elf on the outside of this city turn to you. "What do you want, you disgusting humanoid?"
Pardon me. We've just arrived, and I'm curious what's happening here. What is up with the state of your city?
"All of Sithicus is being torn apart. and it has for months. What are you, new to hear something?
Maybe. Maybe we are.
Well, then perhaps you should go home, save your own lives. Sithicus is dying.
That is actually the
You say this
plan.
matter of just. You say this matter of destruction has been continuing on for months?
He pulls his staff back. Get back, beast! Get back! I will hit you!
You will not.
No, you won't.
You really won't. Trust. I sort of go listen. Trust me, my little simple friend. You don't want to tackle my companion here. He's quite nifty with that blade. Just calm yourself down.
Just tell the beast to keep his distance. And what are you doing here, human? None of you are welcome.
Trust me, this is not by choice. These are the second group of elves I've met, and these are not pleasant creatures. So, trust me when I say we want to get out of here and back to our own place as quickly as possible.
Well, what are you doing here,
if
then?
we disgust you so much, then kindly help us in those endeavours, or else you'll be, unfortunately, stuck with our company for a bit of time.
What do you need? What are you here for?
First of all, these rift things that are opening up and causing chaos, I think one of them happened to have deposited us here. Do you happen to know any way to travel through them or back?
The
or
rifts
away?
aren't what brought you here. It was the mists. It's always bringing damned strangers into Sithicus and anywhere else throughout this abomination of a realm.
Then why did you make them, you fool?
We didn't make them, you fool. We're suffering under them.
No. I called you a fool first. You don't call me a fool back. If you're going to retort, come up with something interesting, at least.
I don't talk to
elves
savages.
so-
He just turns away from you.
Okay, when he turns away, I'm going to rifle through his pockets.
Roll pickpocket.
Oh no!
Where am I? Proficiencies, isn't it?
Might not be the best of ideas as everyone is watching you. They're not watching. This elf is not watching you, but your party is watching you.
So as he turns his back, I speak to him in Elvish.
What do you
And I
say?
ask him,
It should be under thieves skills for pickpocket. What are you asking?
Oh, right. Sorry, yeah.
just please don't turn your back on us. We showed up here unannounced, and we apologize for that, but we're just trying to get an understanding of how we got here.
You see him spin his staff down and turn around. You thief! Get away
What's
from
this?
me! As he backs off into his city.
Come back here and give me something useful, you peasant.
What's your arm? What's
All
your,
you
what's your
elves are
alignment?
Hmm?
What's your alignment?
I think I'm neutral. Chaotic.
Because you're acting pretty chaotic evil right now.
I don't take measurement because I don't take kindly to his tone. Oh, God, where's my character?
I did not care for that man, but I cannot condone thievery.
Where is it?
Chaotic neutral. Yeah.
There you guys. There you go.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
down
that's
with
fine.
it. I'm
That's
down
fine
with
for
it.
you. All right, so let me see who's not here. He's not here, and she's not here. So you guys are on the outskirts of this city. It's completely tore apart. The buildings are falling in on themselves. Again, there's fires everywhere. Everyone that sees you sort of leaves and moves away, if not running and screaming from the lizard monster. I mean, ultimately, you have not seen anything but elves since you've been here, except for that skeletons and that dwarf. But everyone else is an elf, so you can pretty much make the assumption that this is a land of elves. They do not take you know elves from your own native lands. If these are like the Sylvanisty, they're xenophobic. They don't like anyone that's not an elf. They don't treat them well. They don't even acknowledge them in most cases, and so you're not going to be getting much help from anyone unless you're really, really nice to them.
Well, I think we need to figure out what city this is, where we really are.
Right?
So I say we head into the city.
Are you
Okay,
looking
we
for
need-
someone to talk to, or?
We're looking for, the town square, and you get the map, and it goes, you are here.
You can go to what would ostensibly be the town square here, but you're not finding any maps or anything like that. Like at a mall. Like this is the layout of the mall.
You are here. And then the way this says dimensional portal home.
Right.
There. And then we'll just do
It's
that.
like Diablo or something. No,
Yeah,
this
well.
is very gloomy, very dark, very eerie. No one is really looking you in the eye. You're going to have to be really delicate if you want to talk to someone.
I think we need to speak with someone and not attempt thievery.
Yeah, we need to be honest here.
Our questions answered.
So if you have sticky fingers and he turns and looks at you, let's keep them in our pockets.
Hey, some folks don't waste an opportunity, especially against rude folk.
Let's try working with them first.
If these elven creatures had a bit of manners about them, I wouldn't be so tempted to relieve them of their coin.
I wonder if my pickpocket's better than yours, because I probably just...
That would be hilarious. No. Sir,
You have a
Sir
pickpocket off?
Get Sir to pickpocket someone that'd be better than me. That would be.
Because I'm talking to you, I steal from you, right? I mean, no. Is there a center of town here or a meeting point that we can go to, or just...
I mean, there's nothing outlined, but you can go into the town and look around and try to ask for help.
Yeah, I think at the same time as I'm trying to do that, but I'm also looking for a common place where people are heading to, maybe a tavern or at.
It's all burning though, right? So
Yeah, I mean, there's rifts breaking apart buildings, and I mean, this whole place is very, very hectic and chaotic. It is not like a
Superman's
sleepy town.
whole planet before it blew up. That type of hectic.
Like, yeah, but for real, I mean, in the distance you hear screams and cries and sort of commotion, like as if it would be combat. There's a lot going on here that you're just not understanding, at all.
Anybody issuing out orders? It looks like that's in charge. That's trying to.
Not from outside the city where you guys are.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
root
they
guard said
include-
something. The root guard said something interesting. He said that the rifts did not bring us here, but perhaps the mist did. So we may have a more precise lead to follow. And if the only way to escape the rifts is to get out of this place, then perhaps the mist is the answer. I wonder who we might talk to who would know more about that.
Do you remember the conversation at the very beginning with the screaming man?
Qualling?
Yeah.
Mm.
So he was telling you guys about
Yeah, he said the
mist.
treants.
He said that
Mm.
the mist, when people try to leave through the mist, there's this terrible singing that drives them back, and plugging your ears doesn't even help. And he believed it was the treants that were doing the singing in the mist,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't be able to escape from the mist.
And we heard a bit of that, huh?
Yeah, on your way in, yeah.
Yeah, but he was mad, so don't worry about him.
Well, you did hear singing.
Yeah, we had
It
a
started
bar.
like making you see things, and like you
I
guys.
did have a lot. I was partying. I did have a lot to drink that night. We stumbled into this place, so.
Yeah.
couldn't
So
blame that.
I need you guys to role play the sort of terror that you're actually experiencing. Since you've been here, you've seen nothing but true horror. The ground itself is unstable. The world that you've been transported to is completely unstable. Everyone sees you as outsiders, and they don't really want to help you. There's just nothing but horror and terror and like the lack of safety completely. You don't know each other. You don't know the world you're in. Your only cling to your home is each other. And the only way that you can try to figure out how to get home is to try to maneuver the insanity of this world that you found yourselves in.
We need
No.
to get out of here. We just can't even stay here. This place is burning. We need to figure out how to return. Possibly through the mists again.
So, Corros, as you've moved ahead of everyone else, and you're getting a better view of this town, you see in the distance up the street on the north, there's a couple men seemingly like fighting something, but they're sort of blocking your view. It looks like a big sort of shelled creature of some sort, and then it like reaches up its little bug head and like gores them, and it starts charging down towards you. Because you see it, you're not surprised, but you see this massive beetle just appear and start charging down toward you. Let me bring it to this actual layer. It seems to be on fire, like there's fire escaping from its mouth and its eyes, and it's just pretty crazy as it's charging down. All right, so what would you want to do right now on initiative?
Crap. Another big beetle, huh? Or a big beetle, another encounter. Does the rest of the party see this
No.
at all? It's just me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're way
You're
over
the only
here.
one
Huh?
that moved.
Yeah, I am. Does it look like the beetles? I got the beetle's attention, or is it just heading in my direction?
It definitely looks like it sees you and it's headed toward you after it just gored those other two.
Oh boy. All right.
So what would you do on your turn? You see overturned carts. You see like these busted
just
up
getting-
houses.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna cast a second level spell on it. I'm gonna cast blind.
Okay, so what's the speed on that? And then I need you to roll initiative.
Yes, sir. 1 second. Let me get to that. Spells second. Blindness is a 2, so I add 2 to my D10 for initiative.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm catching on. Look at that. Memory serves kick in. All right, and my roll. Hopefully, I just get a 3. Oh, that's even better. I'll take it. 5.
So +2 is 7. Okay. Are you gonna call out to anyone else and let them know what's up, or are you just
Yeah. I'm gonna let them know that a big beetle's headed this way, and it doesn't look nice, and it just killed some friendlies up ahead.
All right. So,
What?
sirs, what would you do? What are you planning on doing after you hear that?
I think ready a bow and just head forward to see it, I guess, and take a shot at it. And shout to Corros, try to find cover. Get away from it.
Okay. Give me an initiative roll for you. Just like the metagaming in me is like, oh, he's not moving anywhere. He's casting a spell. He's rooted to where he is.
Where is it? There it is.
Okay.
Ah,
And
my
Viruna,
initiatives are out.
what are you gonna do here? What's your plan after hearing that?
Yeah, I'm on my way. So she's
Well,
gonna
don't
like
move yet.
run.
This is just
don't
initiative.
Move. Initiative. Okay, so I'm gonna like run over through the gates.
And what would you plan on doing once you got to the other side?
Ascertain the situation.
Okay. So just roll a
Um,
d10 and give me the result of that. That just means I'm just trying to figure out what you're going to do on your turn. If you're going to try to engage in melee combat, if you're going to try to cast a spell, if you're just going to observe, that's fine too.
I will engage in combat.
Okay, so you're going to try to somehow run up to it and attack.
D10, so I got a 9.
Well, hold on, so we need a weapon speed. So you want to go to your weapon that you're going to attack it with and do the
Okay.
initiative there?
Yes, I'm going to do my pellet bow.
Oh, you're going to do a bow, so you're not going to move.
Well, I need to like get around this wall or something first,
Gotcha.
right?
Okay.
I presume.
Yeah, it's basically like an overhead walkway. So, I mean, you can actually shoot through it because it's just open to where you are. But if you want to move to the other side of it for a better view, then you can do that too on your turn. So that's your plan?
I'm still going to move forward, yes.
Okay. So, Tendril, what are you going to do? Talandril.
Right, so I see Corros standing still and making wavy motions as if he's casting a spell.
Yeah, you did hear him too.
Yeah, so I'm going to draw my sword and rush over to him to basically act as a barrier so that while he's doing that, at least I'll
Nice, okay.
be able to repel any attacks.
Yeah, give me an initiative with that. It should be like, hey, tank, get up there and tank. Why am I doing your job? All right, cool. So let me do ascending order, and we'll start from the top. The stag beetle. So this thing does have initiative. It's just charging down. It's going to attack Chris, I'm sorry. It gets 3 attacks on you. It is just like, I mean, what is the attacks? It's just like bite and claw with this crazy little beetle mouth and choppers or something. I don't even know.
Yarring.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Mandible.
All right, so your armor class is 3.
Yep.
So I need a 10 or above to hit. So the first one misses. You're actually, you're not moving. You're just like casting the spell. The second one comes in and hits you. You lose your spell. And the third one hits you. You take, where's damage? 44 was the miss, 1d10 and 1d10. So you take a total of 8 damage from 2 attacks. So you lost your spell, so there's nothing you can do. It just sort of fizzles out of your memory. Viruna, you're up.
Okay, so I'm moving right about here, you know.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do my bow.
Yeah, make sure you're marking
attack.
down the damage on your character sheet.
I should have 9 left.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
Okay, so I'm doing the Thaco.
Roll to hit. Armor class 13, you hit. Oh, wait, whoa. No. Armor class 13, you
Alright.
totally miss. I'm sorry. So you see
Yeah.
just the bolt, or the bullet or whatever you're using to throw from your sling flies off into the air, and it doesn't even get close. I mean, not even remotely close to the shell of this thing. Talandril?
I charge forward. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I was moving up the side.
Well, what's your speed?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. So
Yeah, I'm not sure you can get all the way there and attack. You can get all the way there, but I don't think you can get there and attack.
I'm going to stop short, actually, because I see that
that's
the spell
80.
stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your total speed? Is it 12?
Yes.
So you could move to 2 squares back,
Right, that'll do.
and that's
There.
your movement. If you're not going to move your full move at all. Like, you could get up to him if you want, but you just can't do any attacks at that point.
Yeah, I was rushing up, but then I see that it's kind of engaged. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah,
Put the
again,
brakes
all
on.
this is happening at the same time. We just have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not going to do anything else? You just sort of run up there and you like skid to a stop like, oh, shit!
Yeah, remember, I'm not a super duper fighter here. You know what I mean? It's...
No, I feel you. I definitely get it. Sirs, you're up. You're going to shoot your bow.
Yeah. Also moving up
Oh, you
to.
can't- yeah, you can move. Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. Sorry. No, you're good.
Oh no, move. Oh, just like a single. I mean, 60-foot move only.
Yeah.
And attacking.
So you're at the end of the round, so you get both of your bow attacks if you get 2 attacks.
Okay.
You may not. I don't know what your character sheet says.
Yeah, it has 2. It
Mine
says
says
2/1.
Definitely hits.
And
9 damage.
AC of 1.
One
I think
hits.
that'll hit.
14. All right, let's see if this works. Plus 14. Yay, it works. All right, I don't have to do math anymore.
Nice.
All right, so you just throw 3 arrows at it, sticks right into the shell, like right through the hardest part of the shell. It just sort of rears up, clacking its little teeth, or I don't know what the hell they're called. I should look up
Mandibles.
insect mandibles.
Mandibles,
yeah.
I think.
Clack, 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 clack. I'm making this weird, tiny little like squealing sound. Based off that damage, it turns towards you and
Okay.
my mouse isn't working. Turns towards you and charges forward. On its turn, it's 3 attacks. Where is it? Right here. 13, and you have a -1. Okay. So
It'll hiss at it.
the first attack goes in and it misses
That's
with
a
the little
close
clack. The second one connects, and the third one connects the same. You take a total of 11 damage, 6 from the first, 5 from the second, as it clacks and like crunches down on your sword arm, like ripping it back, and you're sort of like doing a little back and forth. You're able to shake it off with blood sort of dripping off of your hide itself is sort of torn a little bit. Corros, you're up. What's your plan?
Well, the first spell, bummer. I'm going to go magic missile this time.
Okay. And you
first level.
memorized that in the last camp?
Yeah, I
camp
didn't change
before
any of my
last.
spells. I didn't switch them around or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's memorized.
So all 5?
Yes.
Right?
Eat it,
So
beetle.
5d4 plus 5.
All right. 5d4 plus 5. All 4s. 10, 15.
Respect. All right, so you're like blasting it from behind. Just the arcane magic is, and from your guys' side, it looks like there's like fireworks show blasting out toward you as it hits the shell, busts holes in the shell, then meat and like this green goo starts splattering all over you. Sirs, you get the worst of the splatter of the blood as this beetle is forced forward and just slumps onto the ground and just
I like
rests
to
itself.
taste a bit.
And combat is over. You see some elves sort of poking their heads out. You see a couple of them a couple of males start walking toward you. One of them comes up to you, Corros. He's like, "Thank you very much. These beasts have been terrorizing us for months. Thank you so much for saving our lives."
I speak to him in Elvish again. Well, not to him again, but in Elvish. We're glad to help. We're here. We're also very confused of what's going on.
The land has been torn asunder. These rifts, the beasts. Usually Lord Soth takes care of all this problem for us, but he's been absent for months. In his absence, our land has been torn apart. I don't understand it myself completely.
Is there a place we can go talk?
Us?
Yes. Or is there a meeting place, or who's? I'm just trying to get
You're
it.
welcome to come into my storefront if you'd like. I don't know. Rifts may be opening all over this place. They've been decimating this entire territory.
Okay. I just turned to my party. I have friends that are here too, and we're just trying to understand the whole reasoning behind these rifts and why you're attacked and why people are running around and.
You're all
Total
welcome.
chaos.
Please come in. You saved some lives here today.
I tell them my name. My name's Corros.
Corros, it's very nice to meet you. My name is Selden.
Nice to meet you, Selden. The big green machine. He's friendly, so don't be alarmed by his looks.
It's like we watched him.
Sirs
He was
Lok'esh.
very true with his
Well
arrows,
met.
as if he had elven blood in him. Alright,
None that I'm aware of.
See, I would have said, at dinner last night. Take your time. All right, so he invites you into his shop. It looks like it at one point was a form of an interior grocer shop, but it's like just devastated. Shelves are busted apart. The walls have massive cracks in them. It looks like the apartment from the top where he lives has been like breaking down. It's very unstable, but it's kind of the only shelter you've seen in since you've been here, for that matter.
Okay.
You still hear like fires and screaming and combat happening on the outside. It's very post-apocalyptic, but he sort of sits down, hands shaking. So, what can I help you with?
Can you tell me about these rifts? What's going on here? What's caused all this mayhem in your?
I don't really know. Some of us townsfolk have surmised that perhaps it's the absence of the lord of the domain. Every one of the domains here, they have someone in charge, and when they turn their eyes away from controlling the domain falls apart. We're afraid we're going to be forgotten as well, as the domain itself destroys from the ground up.
Do you know of a way out of this realm? We were kind of brought here.
I wish we knew a way out. This is a prison. All of these domains are prisons. We're unable to even leave. We're trapped here as much as anyone else. And now with the domain disintegrating all around us, we're destined to die. And there's nothing we can do. The only thing that's even possible would be making Lord Soth draw his eyes upon his own domain again. But no one's seen him. No one knows anything about him.
Well, you all know of him. I'm sure someone has means of reaching him?
He dwells in his
Who
castle.
was your
but
leader?
His seneschal, Azrael, this beastly dwarf, he keeps everyone away. He's on this ceaseless errand looking for some ghost with a crooked smile.
Yes, we've seen them.
Would that be the dwarf that turns into a badger randomly?
Were-badger. He's a lycanthrope. He can turn into much worse than just a badger. If you encountered him, you're lucky that he left.
How did he live here without going and seeing him?
Caused him to flee.
People have been forgetting their memories ever since the domain has been destroying. It's been falling apart around us. My
Forgetting
wife
your
doesn't even
memories.
remember who I am.
Wandering mindlessly, that they don't know where they're at.
Everyone in this domain has been losing their minds slowly. First it's your memory. You don't remember 10 years ago, then you don't remember 10 months ago, and then 10 days ago, and it just gets worse. Some people don't even know who they are anymore.
We have encountered this.
The longer
It
you
is,
stay here,
rather
you
unsettling.
will be affected as well.
Has this only affected elves or other creatures as well?
Everyone in this domain, but this domain is populated primarily by elves. There are 3 primary elven settlements, and all of them are afflicted.
Where can we go to protect the town? And
Well,
protect-
surely you must.
If I knew, I would do it myself. Negragaard Keep lies on a massive rift south of here, but that's Lord Soth's domain, and no one comes back alive from there. It is crawled by undead beasts, spirits, and the like.
Has anyone been through the rift?
Anyone who has ever fallen into it has never come out. The mists that surround this domain are like barriers. As soon as anyone tries to leave, you hear this unsettling music that Lord Soth himself sings. And I don't understand why he closes the borders and then ignores the torture that's happening in the domain. You hear the ground
there-
rumble,
Soth
and
himself
you hear
sings the
another
music.
rift open outside.
Is there anything you know that you could tell us about this supposed ghost with the crooked smile?
I don't know anything about it. I've never seen a ghost. I've tried to live a good, safe life here. The town's just falling apart. If you seek a way out, if you really want to try to find some sort of solution, if you could find Lord Soth and beg him to pay attention to the domain again, perhaps then all of this would end.
What would
Find
this
Lord
Lord Soth
Soth.
be?
And when he does pay attention, how does he stop this? How does he stop this from happening? Is he a magic user?
He's a Death Knight. He is much more powerful than anything that exists in this realm. I do not know what he would do, but his presence certainly would be enough to change. I just don't know.
Right.
Well, direct us to his realm, and we'll
In fact,
find
direct
out.
us to this dwarf character. I think we'd like to meet him again. He seemed to be searching for this.
I would
Goes to the
not go
crooked
toward
smile.
that dwarf, but if you seek Azrael, he lives in Negragaard Keep with Lord Soth. He is his seneschal.
Sounds like we're going to the keep.
It looks like, yeah, everything's going bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
Is there maybe a road of bricks of a certain hue that would direct us this direction?
We don't have yellow brick roads here. I'm sorry to say.
Different show.
But if you traveled
Well,
directly
it's fine.
south, you would run across the rift.
Because we have a bard, so we need a yellow brick road who can do the song, and then we'll get there, and it'll all be okay.
I'm sure it would all be okay. No, southeast of here, there's a massive rift which you cannot miss. You could follow the road a little while, but then you're going to have to travel right through the forest. You will see Negragaard Keep there. There are Vistani camped on the other side of this town. They don't seem to be affected by the memory loss that is happening to everyone else here. They're able mostly to leave the domain. Perhaps they could help you leave if that is what you seek. Or perhaps teach you something about how to enter Negragaard Keep or bring Lord Soth back or save
Who-
our lives.
Who would be in charge of that group of the Vistani that you tell us about?
There's an old woman named Magda, Magda the Wanderer. She is in charge of the caravan of the Vistani.
And where's this at?
It's just on the other side of town to the east.
Okay, all right.
Yes, we desperately desire to return back from where we came.
Yes,
So-
this is rather unsettling.
Yes. We appreciate all of the information you've given us.
I wish I could offer you more. Our farms, everything has just been decimated. We're sort of scrounging for food ourselves.
I wish there was some assistance we could give
These
you
rifts,
guys.
once they open, do they remain?
Yes,
Do
They're all
the
around
rifts
this
remain
town.
open indefinitely?
yes. And they're only growing more in number and larger every day. I fear that soon the entire domain will cease to exist.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
Shall
we wish
we
you well.
go make new friends with the Spani folk?
I wish you the best of luck. Be kind to them. I warn you, they are known to curse people.
Thank you for the information.
I think my gypsy cousins told me about them one time. Well, do we
Well.
shelter up here or what? Because do we keep going?
Well, I
I
think
think-
we need to heal.
I think so too. Because I've only got 9 hit points left. So
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, got 9 out of 12.
So,
It's like, you're
I have
welcome to
used-
stay inside of my home up on the top of the stairs. But the floors are sagging through the ceiling here, but it's as stable as anywhere.
Yeah, that'd be great. You guys want to hit?
very much appreciated.
They cover from the beetles, if nothing else.
Sounds like a plan. We'll do that.
Okay. So you guys go up. Are you going to just camp out for the remainder of the day and night?
Yeah, I think so. Just to heal up,
Okay.
memorize spells. Be
All right,
great.
there's 4
So-
of you. I'm just going to count Viruna as 1 and then just go zigzagging across as a Z pattern for the 2, 3, and 4. So, well, 1. All right, so Viruna, at one point, you're actually like sort of looking out the window and you see this, what you can only describe as a human gypsy walking into a storefront, coming out with a handful of goods, and elves coming up to him and talking to him, and he says something to them, and they just turn around and just sort of walk away as he runs right out of town.
Okay. So I will keep mental note of gypsy carrying goods.
Okay, this is something you saw, though.
Okay.
All right, so are you guys gonna use spells to heal? You just gonna rest, or what's the plan here?
I think we should
Yeah.
rest.
Well, I got a question about that. So if I use, like, cure a serious wound and then rest, does that mean I have it back tomorrow? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so if you cast it once, you lose it, and then you'd have to re-memorize it through prayer and time, and that would just take the evening to do. So yeah, you'd get it back.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Corros.
So cure serious
Yeah.
wounds on who?
Corros is in need of it.
What level is that?
Cure serious wounds. 4th. So,
Ooh, that's a strong one.
yeah.
Alright, so that
otherwise-
is 2d8 plus 1 points of damage that you can heal.
So I roll 2d8.
Yep, 2d8 plus 1. 11. So you get 11 hit points
So
back.
that'd be 12. Plus 1.
Right. 12 hit points back, Corros.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
I mean, if you rememorized cure light wounds, and you're gonna have to memorize cure, you might as well cast any healing spells you have, since you're gonna have to rest to rememorize anyway. So if you have cure light
Yeah.
wounds right now, you might as well cast
I
that too.
don't, because I used that one, and we haven't rested since
Right,
then.
right, because that was right outside of town. Okay, never mind. Now, if you want to do healing checks on everyone, they can get 3 hit points back rather than 1 from the rest.
I can do cure critical wounds. That's 5th level. Great.
That's huge.
That'd be
Who-
awesome.
Talandril, what's your HP?
I'm okay. Actually, I'm on 20.
So cure critical is 3d8
First-
plus 3.
I got a 21 out of 32. Is that right? Yeah, 21 out
Oh,
of
you're
32.
good.
However, after Corros,
No.
I think maybe Sir might be next as he's going to be our tank in the front, so make sure he's always maxed out.
Corros should never be the tank in the front. He's a
No,
bard.
Sir, I said it's the tank
Yeah.
in the front.
Yeah.
So I'm
Sir,
saying after Corros, saying he's more
Guys.
severely hurt,
Sorry, I always start off with
The
the
next
bow and then
person
move in for the melee.
and priority should be
But that first round is
Sir.
important.
okay,
Yes.
first, whatever, it's your lucky night. I'm going to do cure critical on you. Because I can memorize it again, right?
Yeah. So it's 3d8
So,
plus
and-
3.
3. A 13.
Nice. So you get 13 back, sirs. Of course, you
Okay,
can't
shall
go
pray
over your
to
max.
Mishakal.
I'll just take you back up to next.
All right, so you guys are spending the night. You just sort of kicking back, resting. This is probably the only time you felt remotely safe since you've been here, and you've been able to actually just rest, even though the atmosphere is filled with screams and cries and crashes and sort of chaos outside. This building is somewhat stable throughout the course of your resting.
Okay.
So you wake up in the morning, you feel a little refreshed. Head outside to a brand new day. As you're going outside, you catch this human trying to pickpocket you, Talandril. He's like, "Oh, sorry about that. You understand. Just spending a day in the town. All these elves are crazy. Have a good day."
Oh, and actually, that's. Oh god. Oh, right. Yeah. I see what you mean. It's sort of trying to pick
He's like,
up
"Hey,
back.
keep your hands to yourself."
Oh, you keep your hands to yourself.
All
It
right.
seems
I
that
see.
we're both a bit rattled. I always appreciate someone of the arts.
Oh, well, it's very nice to meet you. My name is Kick.
And Talandril, would you happen to be based north of this urban chaos?
Why do you ask?
You might be able to make an introduction.
For who?
We're looking for a lovely person named Magda, who I believe
How do you know about Magda?
Well, always when you visit a new place, it's always good to know who the charismatic leaders of various clans are.
I see what you're doing.
Of
Magna is hard to find. I mean, she is a mysterious woman in charge of very important things. It might
course, that's why.
be a little
wonderful.
difficult
Well-
finding her. I don't know. It's
Sort of hand to hand. I'm wondering if I was going to try and pickpocket again, give him one of his own gold coins.
So what do you give him?
Versus ham of silver. Maybe, sometimes eyesight can be.
Pockets it. Right. Well, if you'd like to meet the Vistani and Magda, you're more than welcome, but I will warn you, be on your best behavior. They're not like these forgetful elves.
Is there any other behavior than the best?
I think you know that answer.
I do indeed. Shall we?
Follow me! He sort of saunters down. He's like, "Are you with the beast?"
The beast is now becoming a fast friend and a very useful companion.
Okay.
Trust
Who
me,
am I
we've
to
already had a few unnecessary scrapes since arriving in this very strange place. Can I tell, are you natives here, or were you dropped in like us?
Oh no, I've lived here all my life.
Well, hopefully not all
am
of it.
Vistani. We've traveled throughout all the domains. Sithicus is just one of the shitholes we find ourselves in lately.
Yes, I can see that description being apt. Not very pleasant people, these elves. I don't seem to like others that are not like them.
Can
Very
you really
limiting, I
blame
find.
them? The world is going to end soon enough when Sithicus at last tears itself apart. Why obey the law when we're all going to fall into the mists anyhow? If you stay here long enough, you'll forget your name, and then you'll die. And it's happening
Well,
faster
I'd
than we
rather
might
not
think.
do that. I'm sure you can appreciate that. I have quite a long life to go. I was rather enjoying myself until we ended up at this place. Ugh.
Well, if you want to find your way out, I think Magna might know a way to get out of Sithicus. Now, follow me. We'll head out.
Okay, start walking. And it's like, oh. Nice to meet a cultured fellow. I'm starting to despair for a moment.
I could understand that. A lot of dreary, drab elves around here, and none of them are good talking companions when they forget they met you a moment after having met you.
Yeah, well,
You'll excuse me
experience
for a
that.
moment. I need to help this woman with the things. He walks over to an elf, sort of doting on her daughter, sort of absentmindedly, like lifts her pouch off of her purse and just sort of walks away. She's like, "Hey, wait, what did you do?" He's like, "No, you gave it to me in exchange for a service." She's like, "Oh, okay. Thank you very much for your help." "My pleasure, my lady." Walks back to you guys. So, let us continue.
Yeah, does that not get boring? Like, where's the fun?
What do you mean? Literally everything's for the taking. How could that not be fun? This is a momentary thing before this entire domain falls to pieces. Capitalize on chaos, my friend. Capitalize on chaos.
I hear you, but if there's not even a bit of pushback or a chance of getting caught, like, where's the thrill? So
To each their own, I
that's
suppose.
um,
So,
hang on, just while we're walking.
sneaky son of a bitch. So you're able to like lift off 4 silver and 3 gold off of him.
I was going to take that pouch.
Oh, the pouch that he took?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's going to have like
Just out of-
15 copper in it.
that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's the principle of the matter.
Okay.
It's all about the great game.
Yeah, yeah. So you guys walk through this really he's like leading you around these rifts as they're still continuously like happening all around him. He seems very careful and aware of what's going on and what's happening when, and so he's doing his best to sort of avoid things going around between alleys of these homes that are like sort of falling apart. And every opportunity that presents itself for him to relieve these poor people of any of their burdensome money, he does his best to sort of collect it. It's going to be gone in the rift anyhow.
So, my friend, you seem to be quite in tune with these rifts. They were very unsettling when we came here.
I've been experiencing this for months, ever since the Dark Lord has turned his eyes from Sithicus.
That's very inconsiderate. Imagine creating a place and then forgetting about it. What's this thing about a ghost with a smile or something that seems to be going absolutely crazy about?
Well, I think perhaps Magna should talk to you about that.
All right, okay. Just is everybody insane here? Have they always been insane, or is this a recent
No,
phenomenon?
this is new. Ever since the domain started crumbling all around us, people started losing their minds, and that leads to chaos.
I can see it. So what were these rifts? Is there like a rumbling first? I notice you kind of stop for a second.
Well, I tend to just be aware of my surroundings. See, I like to make sure that when someone is standing next to me, eyeing my pouches, I can... Damn it! He like tries to take his pouch back from you, and you notice him doing it.
Like, come on, like you kind of. I think these easy pickings have kind of dulled your skills, there, my friend.
It's very
That's what I'm
possible.
saying. Always
It's
stay sharp.
very
Always stay
possible.
sharp.
Anyway,
He's
like, aha!
practice,
ah!
Yeah, that's why we always must practice.
All right, so you guys get to the outside of the village. It is just completely devastated. If you have a heart, it's very sad everything that you're seeing. You know, people are grieving over houses falling down. You see legs sticking out. You know, people just crushed by buildings falling. Loved ones fall into rifts, and their elven survivors are standing on the outside of the rifts just weeping openly. I mean, this is not a happy scene at all. This Vistani is clearly just used to seeing this horror and just moving past it. But all of you, this is like the first time you're sort of seeing it up in person rather than just surviving in the wilderness on your own and seeing the devastation that it actually is affecting these people in their homes. I mean, if you're a good line character, this is a horrible, horrible thing to see and experience. You get to the outside of town and you see this caravan of wagons sort of all in a circle. It's after high noon and the sun is sort of beating down. You see this campsite in the center of this sort of circle of wagons. A bunch of these gypsies are sort of Vistani are standing on the outside eyeing you, but as Kik is bringing you in, they're all sort of, allowing you to go in without sort of approaching you or trying to stop you or anything. You see him coming up to people who do questions. He's like, they want to see Magda about the Dark Lord. And they're like, ooh, sort of turn and walk away. As you walk in, you see this old woman. Let me show you what she looks like. I'm going to have to switch over to another screen so you can actually see here. Where are you? Here you are. So you see this older woman. I mean, by old standards, she's in her 50s. I mean, I'm close to that right now, so it's not really old. What's that?
Is she using Botox?
Yeah.
What?
She's injecting herself with Botox. She's just the leader of this caravan and stuff, and she's sitting in sort of the pile of blankets on this log. She's like wrapped in blankets. There's a morning campfire that's sort of dwindling away. There's this big cauldron sort of just perched above the fire itself with something inside of it that people are ladling out into cups and sort of passing around to other people drinking. And she lifts her head up. What are you doing here?
Good evening, madam. Thank you very much for agreeing to see us. Strange circumstances have brought us here. I go to one of the houses, got a sprinkling of salt, just sprinkle in the cauldron. Just a little contribution for the family's meal.
This is very kind of you. You see this crow sort of hopping on the edge of this wheel of a nearby Vardo or wagon, and sort of cries out, "Through! Through! Dark Lord! Through!" And she's like, "Now you'll have to ignore my pet Shadow. He's very excitable when new people come around. Please have a seat, have a drink."
Trust me, the crow's been the least excitable, especially compared to an elf.
God, yes. The world is falling apart. What are you going to do about it?
We just try our best, do we? And ideally leave this place before it does.
Well, I'm not entirely sure escape is possible. I myself am unable to leave this domain, even when my people are. But lately, for months now, the Dark Lord has kept the borders closed, and we are ostensibly trapped.
That's a
We're sorry
shame.
to have to come to you under such dreadful conditions, lady. What can you tell us about the Dark Lord?
Well, I can tell you very much. The Dark Knight's tale is one that I have learned throughout my many years. I served him for a small time unwillingly. Lord Soth is not someone to trifle with. He is in complete control while we are here in his domain. I am able to tell you of a prophecy that perhaps is apt with your arrival. You see, we have not seen anyone new in this domain for months, since the domain has been absent of the Dark Lord's eyes. Would you like to hear the prophecy?
Yes.
Please, if you're keen to tell,
Yes.
we're much appreciated.
Some older men sort of scoop ladles into cups, little wooden, very primitively carved cups, handing them out to each of you. And they're sort of like, oh, drink, drink, drink. You know, sort of without saying anything, just motioning for you to drink.
Yeah, I just sort of nod as a no, thanks.
Thank you.
She sits back, looks up. Would you mind bringing the canopy over? The heat is getting a little too much for me. You see some men sort of nod, and they bring out this massive canopy over the entire central circle of all of the Vardos. And so you're now sort of enclosed in the sun that was very, very bright now is completely absent, and now the only light seems to be coming right from the small fire underneath the cauldron itself. And everyone's attention, even Magda's attention, is focused just on the flames as they're twisting and dancing underneath the cauldron. In time, the cudgel shall come forth again into the light, and the new tribes shall rally around it. Dirges shall hem them in on every side, and sorrowful shall be their song. But in the year of destruction, strangers shall come, and they shall lead the way to salvation through the jaws of the beast. Only with the help can the wanderer escape. The strangers too shall be freed when the black roses bloom. This prophecy can be interpreted in many ways, but if you are the strangers and the black rose is Lord Soth, perhaps you can help the wanderer escape Sithicus as you escape yourselves. If that is something you're interested in, perhaps I could share the Dark Knight's tale.
It definitely is. Like yourself, we're not too keen to stay. Of course, if we manage to find a way out, we'll need to. Obviously, our friends are always appreciated, so if we can find a way to bring you with us.
If you are intent on leaving, I believe the only way is to enter Negragaard Keep, and I can lead you to the keep. But I will not be much help as I am no longer a warrior.
I'm not much of a warrior myself. I'm more of a facilitator, shall we say. But we do what we must.
I'm a broker of sorts.
Yes, it's trading import-export, you know.
She tells you,
easy from people's pouches and pockets.
Oh, what was that, Viruna?
Would the keep be these jaws of the beast that you mentioned in the prophecy?
That is a very astute observation, yes. I do believe that if you enter the keep, you will find the answer to get me and yourselves out of this dreaded domain, and perhaps rescue all of the inhabitants of it when the Dark Lord draws his eyes once again into the domain.
We can only do what we can, but we would be honored to help you.
Thank you.
As I say, better to attempt something than just sit and wait for fate to decide what it is going to do.
Well, the Dark Knight's tale is a long one, and if you are prepared to listen, perhaps Kick could tell it, since he is the one who brought you here. He was like mid-drinking, he's all, yes, I could do this. Yeah, I could tell the tale, Dark Knight's tale. I mean, it's a long tale, and my memory is a little vague. Perhaps there's something you could do to spur the memory?
I throw the pipes to him. Maybe that'll help.
My friend, very good. He sort of waves, he's like, okay. Sit down, get comfortable. It's a bit of a tale. There once was a mighty warrior whose jealous passions and neglect of duty led him to lose all that was dear to him. His love, his life, his very spirit. His tale is a descent into darkness and evil. His name is Lord Soth, and this is his story. Long, long ago, Lord Soth was mortal, Nearly 4 centuries ago, he fought on the side of good in the distant lands of Solamnia. In those days, Lord Soth was a knight of Solamnia. Through deeds of great daring and chivalry, he earned each of that order's honors: crown, sword, and rose. He built the mighty Negragaard keep of rose red stone and married the beautiful Lady Gladria of Calaman. Proud he was of his wife, so it was his duty alone made him wed her. Proud he was of his fortress strong. Pride, as we Vistani say, the greater the pride, the farther the fall. And what caused this proud warrior to fall?
What was it?
What caused this warrior to fall? I don't know. My memory need a little embellishment here. My palm is empty. My memory is attached to my palm.
That's a terrible thing. I offer a silver coin to Magda. I'm sorry your chosen representative appears to have let you down. Please accept this as my condolence.
She sees it. She
Sorry.
flicks it over to him in his palm. She's like, "This is Ave. Thank you." He's like, well, desire for a woman. He was forbidden to him. Possessing her would make a mockery of his wedding vows. Possessing him would contradict his own promise to the gods. But then, as Vivastani say, the sweetest fruits lie behind the stoutest fence. Lady Isolde was her name. She was an elf maid of Sylvanost, traveling with 13 other maids to the mighty kingdom of Palanthas. There she would pledge herself to the god Paladine, the valiant warrior, father of all good, platinum dragon of the evening sky. The maids were beset by bandits and taken prisoner. There were dozens of the rogues, perhaps even hundreds. Somehow they had known just where and when to strike. Lord Soth met their leader, a fearsome ogre, in single combat. He fought the brute in accordance with the rules of fair combat, besting him even though the ogre resorted to trickery and unfair tactics. The bandits fled, and Lady Isolde fell into Lord Soth's arms. An innocent spark of love was kindled. All too soon, it became the flame of lust. The elf maid had vowed to serve her god, but had not yet been sworn a priestess, and so had no formal oath to break. Lord Soth, however, was bound to his wife by sacred marriage oath. His vows were binding until death parts us. There was only one way to break these vows, and so...
Oh dear.
Think somebody else's turn?
Okay,
Please allow me.
Viruna. What?
What do you give
Bring
him?
another silver out.
Oh.
Go ahead, sir.
I guess it's matching silver you gave before.
And so Lord Soth committed the ultimate sin. He orders his seneschal, a vain and evil man named Caradoc, to murder Lady Gladria. What should have been a bed of love was turned to a bed of death. Blood on her bedclothes showed the murder had been done, though her body was never found. This unseemly haste, and without a tear of mourning for his dead wife, Lord Soth took Lady Isolde to live with him in Negragaard Keep. His bloody secret seemed safe, but the elf maids who accompanied Isolde had sharp ears and keen eyes. Somehow they learned the Lord Soth's crime. Somehow their gossip reached the ears of the High Knights. Called before a council of his peers, Lord Soth was found guilty of murder, adultery, and dishonoring the vows of his order. He was dragged through the streets of Palanthas in shame and sentenced to death. And losing your earbud. The execution would take place the very next day, according to tradition. Soth would die by his own sword. But that night...
Look at silver piece at him.
He
That
nudges
night.
you. He needs another silver piece.
13 knights who had remained loyal to Lord Soth rescued him from his prison. By dark of night, they stole away to Negragaard Keep. The Knights of Solamnia besieged the keep, demanding that Soth emerge to meet his fate. They lifted the siege just long enough for Lord Soth to wed Isolde in a joyless, sparsely attended wedding. The siege was a long and harsh one, but Negragaard keep held, just as things were their darkest. The god Paladin spoke to Lord Soth. The knight's sins would all be forgiven if he undertook one last heroic task. Success would mean Soth's death, but also bring about his salvation. Paladin ordered Lord Soth to journey to the city of Istar, where the king priest of that city was about to demand of the gods the power to eradicate all evil from Krynn. Unless the priest could be stopped, the gods would retaliate by utterly destroying the city. Only Soth could prevent this cataclysm. Lord Soth set out for Istar, but he never reached the city. What stopped him?
What stopped him indeed? Playing another piece of silver.
You are like a well that never is full, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. Soth never reached Istar because the fiery hand of jealousy gripped his heart. One of the elf maids whispered in his ears that Isolde had been unfaithful to him, that the son Isolde had borne was not Soth's own. Infuriated, Lord Soth rode home to confront his wife with her imagined crimes. At the same moment that he raised his mailed fist to her, the king priest of Istar raised his voice to the heavens. The furious gods hurled a mountain down on the city, hurled the holy fire at Negragaard keep. Even as she was consumed by flames, Lady Isolde begged her husband to save the life of Peridor, their newborn son. But Soth turned away. He lost his wife, his son, his life, and his spirit that day. But something evil lived inside his empty chest, and so Lord Soth was reborn as...
I think we know the rest of this.
Reborn as...
Oh, let's hear it.
Ha! Yes, a death knight. A creature of darkness. A heartless servant of evil. A mockery of a man with the icy voice and chilling touch. A fiend capable of killing with a mere word, of causing racking pain at mere glance. A creature capable of turning the bravest warrior's blood to ice, of burning the holiest priest to cinders with a mere thought. A creature who bends the shadows to his will and laughs in the face of gods. Sorry, I get excited. Together with the dragon high lord Kitiara Uthmata, Lord Soth serves the evil goddess of Takesis, queen of darkness, five-headed dragon of the evening sky. Together they laid low the glorious city of Palanthas. Together, though Lord Soth, they would remain. But Kitiara of the Crooked Smile died that day in the Tower of High Sorcery at Palanthas. Her spirit entered the five-headed mirror and was claimed by Takesis. They say that Lord Soth smiled as he gathered up Kitiara's corpse, for he had prepared for this, even as the city fell.
Keck, you are quite the storyteller. Keep it coming.
Thank you.
Another silver piece.
Even as Palanthas fell, Soth's ghostly seneschal Caradoc entered the vase of the void called the Abyss, then entered the infernal realms that was home to the Dark Queen. Reaching the goddess's realm, he raised his medallion of office above his head and called Kitiara's spirit into it. With this prize, Lord Soth could raise the Dragon High Lord as one from the living dead. With Kitiara beside him, the retinue of his keep would be complete. But Lord Soth was not to receive Kitiara's spirit. Caradoc hid the medallion and demanded to be restored to mortal life in payment for returning it over to his lord. Lord Soth responded as he always did, with disloyalty, with an inflamed passion that burned away all rational thought. Seeking revenge against his seneschal, he followed Caradoc into the mist not once but twice. Once into Barovia, domain of Count Strahd von Zarevich. A second time into Sithicus, the land Lord Soth now rules. Lord Soth seeks one thing, and one thing only. It is the key to his every thought, his every action. That one thing is...
I will save our party some money and we'll guess it's the medallion.
I
Heck,
cannot
here
finish
you
the
go.
tale. Oh,
One
I can
silver.
finish the tale. Thank you, my memory comes back to me. To return once more to his native land. He will stop at nothing, spare no one in his effort to achieve this goal. We, his unwilling servants, pray that one day he will succeed, for that day will see the end of this long, dark night. The other Vistani start clapping. Magna, very
Thank
well
you.
told, Kick. This is very good.
Yeah, that's quite entertaining. Thank you.
Rather expensive tale.
We
Yes.
are thorough in our histories. It's verbal tales. It's what keeps us spry and young, and our memories sharp. So now you know the tale of the Dark Knight. You know he wants to leave Sithicus. You know he pines for this Kitiara's soul that evaded him. Something.
And Kitiara, would this Kitiara be the crooked-smiled woman that we've heard
Indeed.
spoken of?
His seneschal, Azrael, scours all of Sithicus looking for her. Some of these elves here have claimed to have seen her at some time or another, but their memory fades, and with that, so does the truth of what happens.
Seems that Caradoc is a bit of a foolish man if he doesn't understand the correlation between the loss of memory and Lord Soth's absence.
Caradoc was destroyed as first seneschal. His second seneschal, Azrael, he is as powerless as we are. His Dark Lord is absent, and he's doing everything he can to find the ghost in order to bring the Lord Soth's attention back to Sithicus. But
Even
perhaps
he-
if you enter Negragaard Keep and you pull Lord Soth out of his absence, perhaps you could save everyone.
Yes. Our presence in his keep might lure him back then.
Or perhaps you find the way inside the keep to bring him out.
Yes, I'm thinking this medallion might be useful. Sense of a key.
And how is it?
Well,
How is it what, Lizard Man?
How is it that your people do not suffer the same? How is it that your people do not suffer the same memory loss as the elves?
It's a very good question, because we are not of Sithicus. These elves were created here. When Sithicus was created around the evil of Lord Soth. And so they are intimately trapped here with him and suffer when he turns as the land suffers.
I wonder what could be holding his attention.
Yes, it would seem that we need to head south, was it? To his keep?
Southeast is where the rift is, where Negragaard Keep is perched.
Negragaard. Well, thank you again for the information and for the stories.
Would you like, the least we could do is give you a map of the domain so you could at least find your way around.
Yes, that would be most helpful.
Very good. So she
Perhaps
sort
even a guide.
snaps her fingers, and you see a gentleman come over. He rolls out a parchment, and she's like, I would be happy to guide you myself if you could keep me safe.
Yeah. I believe we could manage that.
I think we can make that.
She points in the
arrangement.
center of the rift here, if you guys are looking at the map. Let me show everyone watching at home. This is the rift where Negragaard Keep is. This town that you have just left is Malarek.
I see.
This town here is Harthelen, another elven town This is the elven town of Soth. This over here is Kendraland. We stay away from there. You would be
I
wise
see,
to
so-
stay away as well.
We would have to travel through the forest would be our best route then to get to the keep.
This is dangerous. But you do look like you like very strong adventurers. Beastly, some might say. She's not laughing, I'm laughing, sorry.
Yes, well, we have been through some battles in our time here.
I heard about the fire beetle. You seem to have taken care of that very effectively. I believe the bard, from what I am told, is the one that dispatched it with his magic.
Yes.
Yes.
Certainly did.
That would be Corros.
Corros, you say?
He's actually a very accomplished bard. I'm sure he won't mind giving a short rendition while we prepare ourselves. And obviously,
Yes.
be payment
I
for
played
your
a
story.
inspiring tune about an eager group willing to help out strangers for the cause of good, at the same time as they try to find their way back home from where they first came from.
Nice.
So I just started busting out this tune and just letting it rip.
Everyone seems to really, really enjoy it. They start, as the evening starts sliding off, of course it seems like it's night because you're under this massive canopy. You realize that night actually has fallen after that long tale, and you guys are sort of singing and listening and sharing thoughts and drinks, and the broth turned to wine, early in the evening, and it's just been this long afternoon of sharing ideas and thoughts and experiences, and they sort of have almost seeming to have adopted you into their little tribe here momentarily. So that is the
Very welcoming.
evening. You're welcome to memorize new spells or take time to heal up or anything you want to do. But she's not ready to leave until the morning to guide you.
Okay.
Makes sense.
It's all
Okay.
Yeah.
inspiring the group and the crowd.
I'll
They
have
also
another
be very
point back.
receptive.
Thank you.
All right, that seems like a good place to end it. We're like 6 minutes from the 4-hour mark. Is there anything you guys wanted to do before we close up this session?
I suppose Viruna will memorize her spells.
That's a good idea. So you had already memorized your spells up at the loft. So do you want to cast any of the curing spells, the healing spells, before you rememorize anything?
That's right. Does anyone need healing currently? I'm full 24, so I'm good.
I'm 2 points from max, so not really big deal for me.
Yeah, you'll get one of those back just by sleeping.
Might as well be max.
Sirs, you need some?
Oh, yeah. No, she healed me up fully.
All right. And
All
Corros,
right.
you're good? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
All
good.
right. Well, that is where we're going to end this episode. Thank you all so much. That has been part 1 of Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition Ravenloft When Black Roses Bloom live play. I'd like to thank the players for joining me and making this a very entertaining session. What do you all watching think of their playing characters? Have you ever played an adventure in Ravenloft before? Feel free to email me at info@dlsaga.com or leave a comment below. I would like to take a moment and remind you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, ring the bell to get notified about upcoming videos, and click that stupid like button. This all goes to help other Dragonlance fans learn about this channel and its content. And this channel is all about celebrating the wonderful world of Dragonlance Saga. I hope you'll join me in this celebration. Thank you for watching. This has been Adam with Dragonlance Saga. Until next time, Slanjavar.